Hello, hello. Welcome to the show.
Hello. Welcome everyone. How is everyone doing? How are you, Kayla?
I'm good. I'm like fading into the background. There you go. That's better. I was a little bit in techno world, like I was ascending to 5D for a second there, and now it's solved.
You were
I
transcending.
was transcending all rules of green screens. But now I'm back. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm really excited about what we're talking today because it's a train wreck. And
Yay!
the last one that I remember of the sort was Dave Hollis. So
I've
yeah,
heard of him.
it's
I've heard
just
of him
very
before.
exciting.
Yeah, he's famous for saying that one quote. Hold on, let me think of it.
Oh, I love that sound.
That's the one.
Yeah.
Pretty sure that's Dave Hollis.
Yeah, this will be interesting
Unfollow me.
today, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we want to set it up because so basically, just so everyone that's watching knows, Camelia has picked the topics for today. So last week we did like half and half. So we're trying today just to mix it up and see how it feels. Camelia picked like who she wants to talk about, what she wants to talk about. So blame her for any complaints, any comments, any successes can go to me, but anything that you don't like about the show, you can, blame her for it.
I'll take it. I'll take it. I think you guys, it's not quite it's in the self the guys the guy today's topic is like the meal prep king. He's like king, all
Meal
right.
prep
Like
king.
but he's sort of in the self-help space through the fitness thing. Like he helps people lose weight with meal prepping and stuff. So recently, a lot has happened in his life, including a breakup. He was in a relationship with a lady by the name of Charlotte, and I think Charlotte dumped him because Charlotte is no longer to be seen anywhere to be seen, and he is going like he has become a total train wreck on Instagram, going live and while drunk and saying all the things to the
Oof.
point where his publisher Penguin dropped him and one of his sponsors. And don't worry, we'll dive into that deeply so that people can see why I call this a train wreck, because it's just something else.
It's something about people, or there is something about people who hit that 400,000 follow mark on Instagram that they just either continue to like just go whoop, right to the tops of millions, or they go insane on Instagram. There's no in between.
Do you think there's like a cursed 400K line?
Yes, because I think Dave was at like Dave Hollis, our best friend that we just heard him fart. Um, he hit like 450,000 at one point when he was coming out with Built Through Courage, and then had his meltdown, and now is like down to like 430,000, which is still a whole lot of people, but
Maybe it's always every time like there's like milestone, because Jenna Kutcher was almost at 1 million, and then the Toy Marie situation happened, and then she dropped down, and now it took her like a year or two to like climb back up to 1 million. So maybe every time there's a milestone, and the 400 is close to like the 500,000. So I guess
yeah, that's your next
half.
like, yeah, your goalpost, and then it seems so close yet so far when you have a meltdown. Yeah, it's almost like hitting that, like, oh, I'm turning 30. Oh my God. And you start to evaluate your life. And then you do it again when you turn 40. You're like, oh my God, I didn't do the things I said I would do when I was 15. Oh my God. Yeah,
Yeah.
so that's probably what it's
Did you
like.
have a Did you have that at 30? Because I definitely did.
No, well, I don't know. I feel like because I turned 30 during like the middle of the pandemic, that it sort of was like so chaotic. I didn't have a chance. But now I think maybe 35. I'm delaying my midlife crisis till 35, my reevaluation.
Nice.
Yeah, so I have a little more time to relax and enjoy myself for
Yeah,
now.
that's good. That's good. I did turn 30 in 2020, and we're also in the middle of a pandemic, and I had this letter that I wrote to myself like a few
Aw.
years back to be opened at 30, and oh my God, like
Did you
I
feel
done
worse?
nothing from the letter. The letter was like, I hope you did this, and I hope, and then I'm like, fuck.
that's like a self-help thing. Like set your goals, set your intention, put it out in
Yeah.
the universe, and like commit to it. It didn't work for you. Damn it.
Oh, Z, yes, totally. Dev Noodles. Like, oh my God, do you guys know this? Like, Dev Noodles has been canceled big time.
You need to explain. I
Um,
don't know any. I don't know about it. I tried to look it
You
up after
don't?
we talked about it. You mentioned it, and I looked it up. I could not find anything. What did he do?
So apparently he's manufactured a lot of headlines and stuff for,
Mm.
the purposes of growing his channel. And yeah, and he's a bad comedian. So that's the gist of it.
Interesting. Okay, maybe we'll have to tackle that topic in the
Yeah,
future.
yeah, exactly.
Get some
Exactly.
noodles ready. Okay.
He was on a road though. That was a bit of a shame because he had just called out the Ace family on being
Mm-hmm.
scammers like live and in person, I mean. And yeah, I just thought he was I was never a fan because I could never get along with his comedy style, but
Mm. Someone told
I was
me
definitely
like my channel
watching.
reminded me of theirs or his because they said, "Oh, you should check him out." I was trying to explain like what I talk about on YouTube, and they're like, "Oh, do you like Deaf Noodles?" And I was like, "Who is that?" This is a while ago, and then they said, "Yeah, like yeah, he wears these like cat glasses, or he wears these like kooky glasses, and then he wears like little cat ear headphones." So that's
Yeah.
how long ago I sort of was like involved. I can't even find him on here. What's his
Oh wow,
handle
okay.
on
What, he's gone from YouTube?
Oh wait, no.
No way.
That was my fault.
Okay.
I got blocked, but no, I just
You
didn't spell it
scared
right.
me. I'm like, shit.
He's only got because okay, look, this kind of makes our argument. He's at 98,000
Yeah.
followers. He almost hit 100, and now he's freaking out and is self sabotaging, or maybe.
Yeah, yeah. Well, he was at almost 600, I think, on YouTube. He grew quite fast
Subs,
once he
yeah.
started with these like fake. It's not this one. This is a separate. It's not the OG.
This one. Yeah,
Yeah,
573,000.
yeah. So I think he's been dropping for a while now, but yeah.
Interesting.
I don't know. I struggled because I did think about it and I was like, should I make a video about this? But the gist of this whole thing was Def Noodles is a shitty person. So I was like, okay, I don't know if
Interesting.
that's a lot that I can. Not that my videos ever have a lot of information, but
Yeah.
Um.
They do. They have a lot of information. Your videos are great.
Oh, stop lying.
They're horrible actually. I didn't want to tell you, but they're really bad. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Now you're speaking into my soul.
Everyone, tell Camelia that her videos are good, okay? They did. See, they sent that in for us, for you.
I don't relate to compliments, you guys. If you want
know.
to insult me, I'm down for it.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you,
See?
Sarah E.
You got a compliment via a super sticker. She chose a purple
Aw.
cat.
Thank you. Oh, that's so sweet. That's so sweet.
This is what Cam has to say to you.
I love you.
Very intimate. Yeah. So should we? Now
Speaking
that
of
we have
noodles.
explained briefly what the Meal Prep King has done, the Meal Prep King is a British influencer, so maybe that's why we have fewer viewers than usual. He worked with the BBC, so he kind of made a name for himself as helping people lose weight through meal prepping. So there was a lot of that, and now he's fucked all of it up. So yeah.
It happens, man. You get close to something, and then you start to panic. I'm telling you. I think this theory has legs.
Yeah.
But yeah, this looks like, I mean, just like, again, I never heard of this guy. I think this is a separate thing. Whenever I watch, there was a period of time where all I watched on YouTube was like British TV shows from like, not like kind of reality-ish shows from like 2005, where it was like they would go into a neighborhood in London, like a suburb, and they'd say, this woman only eats potato chips. And this is the only thing she eats. And the woman would just be like, I can't stop eating potato chips. And just stuff like that, just like wacky, like TLC, but in England. And they would always say, she weighs a whopping 5 stone. I'm like, what does that mean? How, like, equate that to like pounds.
I have no idea. 5 stone would be low though. I think
Okay.
you can't wait. Can you? I mean, you can, but you probably are super skinny if you're like just 5 stones. But I don't understand because I work in kilograms, so
So we're just
but
not speaking the same
I
language
think
at all.
I think that 1 stone is something like 6 kilogram or 12 kilogram. 1 second. I need to check this because I always have to check it because I forget. 6 kilograms, 6.3. So that would be 12 pounds or something like that.
Okay.
That's
So
1 stone.
1 stone is 6 pounds.
Yeah.
So 6 times 4 is
No,
13,
1 stone is
24?
12 pounds.
Oh, 12 pounds.
So
Okay.
48 pounds.
Okay. Sweet. So that's pretty good. 4 stone. 4 stone weight loss by December 2022. Unless
Yeah.
you get cancelled, then you can gain 8 stone.
Yeah. Okay, let's watch the first one. Should we
Okay.
start with him being a sexist asshole, or should we start with him just being, an asshole to everyone, not just women?
Here he is, guys. Just kidding. Just joking.
This would be him in December. Like, he would have aged like this.
I don't know who this is, but this is on the Meal Prep Kings page. I think it's him.
Yeah, that's him.
And that's his
him.
girlfriend, ex-girlfriend now, perhaps?
Yeah, I think so. But yeah, she's gone out of his life and he's spiraling. So
Okay, so let's watch the TikTok then.
And I've been there too. So,
Yeah, it's okay. You didn't have a book deal to lose, so I guess it's all right.
Yeah, exactly. And I also didn't start doing lives. So
Yeah, be warned. Once you hit that milestone, the next 20,000, you'll be on Instagram. Thank you, Amelia.
Good for me. Thank you, Amelia. But good for me. I'm not nowhere even close to that milestone.
Yeah. One hit video and you'll be there. I'm telling you.
Oh my God. Yeah. No.
Amelia said also, and she didn't say anything, but her super sticker is a baby lemon looking up to our lemon character standing in a superhero position. So she's a super lemon.
I love these like descriptions of stickers. So like, imagine.
Just imagine. And Amelia, this one's for you.
What up, homie?
Oh, that's sweet. Yeah, we started liking her, didn't we? I think we agreed to like her at one point.
Yeah, it's a love-hate relationship. I don't hate her, but I think I would love her even more if she got out of her marriage with Tom Bilyeu.
Yeah, don't worry. 1 or 2 years were soon.
Yeah,
Very soon.
and Savvy from Savvy Writes Books is on our side because I watched her video about Lisa's book, and she had the same takeaway. It was like, she needs to get out of there. She's talented, and what the heck's she doing? So,
Yeah.
maybe.
The only thing is, like, he's got more money than Dave Hollis had, so that might be harder to undo. But yeah,
I mean, he's got a million. She can take one of those millions and just live forever. And her dad's got money. She's fine. She's good.
Okay.
Just leave, Lisa.
Fair enough.
We need to start a hashtag, Lisa, just leave. Or leaving Lisa.
Save Lisa Billion.
Yeah, save Lisa. Okay, anyways, back on task. Okay, we're talking about Meal Prep King today.
Let's hear him.
And this TikTok is from a different creator called The Thinking Hour. And it says, do not support the Meal Prep King. Okay, tell us why. Here we go.
Don't know what you're on about. Call the police. Or me, or somebody else. Oh my God, John's gone live. Ring the police. Beep. Have some respect for females. Nope, you're all fucking scruffy cunts. Why is his nose so swelled?
Okay, hold on. We need to have some translation from our European correspondent, Cam. Okay. Scruffy cons? What is that?
Oh, the second word, you definitely know it.
What did he say? He said, okay, first of all, he said, call the police. It's a little bit British, so we got to like sort of break it down. So he's like, okay, John's on live, better call the police. Okay, all right. Then he said, be nice to females. He said, no, they're all scruffy cons.
No, CUNTS.
Oh, that's what he said? I didn't even hear
Yeah.
that. I didn't even hear it. Oh. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So scruffy, according to the Oxford Dictionary, means shabby, untidy, or dirty.
Okay.
So
I'm innocent. I was like, what's that word?
you were like, I relate.
It's a Scruffy Con. Is that like an event? Oh, God. Okay. All right, continue. And he's got comments just rolling in.
Oh, yeah.
I got whacked. But anyway, that's the last time I'm going to mention it. How the fuck's you noticed this? Look, it's there here. I've been able to see it from day one. I'll be your first comment. You're fat. You're a fucking waste of space. Fucking clue.
Oh, this is hard to read or hear.
Did you get that one?
Something. You're a waste of space.
You're fat. You're a waste of space.
All women?
Yeah,
Essentially.
I think he's been drunk for a few days at this point. So everyone, everyone, but this one in particular is about women, I think.
Okay. And he's got his bottle.
Yeah,
Is that an alcohol bottle or is that a Sprite bottle?
I don't
no.
know what that is, but he's definitely been drunk for a few days.
He's got 1,026 people watching this live. So,
Wow.
yikes.
Next. Yeah. But anyway, that's the last time I'm going to mention it. How the fuck's you noticed this? Look, it's there here. I've been able to see it from day one. I'll be your first comment. You're fat. You're a fucking waste of space. Fucking clue. Next. Yeah. Amazing you're going to be happy with that. But it's true. You're not married, you're all alone. Yeah, I see that as a fucking good thing.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, right.
Have some respect for females. Nope, you're all fucking scruffy cunts. Why
Okay, now I heard it better that time, but I still like Scruffy Cons. Yeah.
you know so well? Yeah, because I got whacked.
He got whacked?
I can't read all these messages. Far too many. But I do like kind of pissing women off.
Okay. He likes pissing women off. What's up with his eye?
Somebody punched him.
Oh.
So and we think we as in have joined the masses on his live this morning. So me and the masses think that he got punched because him and Charlotte broke up and potentially Charlotte's current or whatever punched. I don't know what happened. Nobody. This is all speculation, but that would be perfect for our story. So-
Interesting. Yeah, that's why he's so bad out of shape. He's punched in the eyeball. I mean, that's horrible. I mean, that's not acceptable either. If like there is domestic abuse in the relationship, that's not cool in any sense. But
no,
he's
we
just
don't know
going-
if that happened. That's just
Yeah.
I feel like that could be an explanation, but that could be one of 100,000. So
yeah, he might have just went to a bar and insulted a woman. He's like, all women are Scruffy Cons, and then he got punched by the woman's husband or
Cons.
something. That's what we're gonna say from now on.
yeah.
Okay, is there more on this one? Keep watching it.
Yeah. Let's watch the whole thing.
Strange. I'm a woman. I'm a female, and I have rights. Shut the fuck up, you fucking scruffy cunt. Honestly.
Jesus. Dislike women, but can we at least have rights though?
No. Shut up. You scruffy con.
You have rights? Ugh.
Oh man.
Okay. It's going downhill.
Single men, reveal yourself. Yes. I'm not against women. I just don't agree with fucking women thinking they have fucking some sort of hierarchy. It's weird.
I'm not against women, but I don't think they should have rights though. Okay.
I'm a female and I've got a hierarchy. A hierarchy of what? Shut the fuck up and get fucking do as you're told. Piss off. But I tell you what, it keeps a following. People love it. No need to be heartbroken. I'm not really this bad in general. But I am opinionated on certain things. But you must admit, you're a woman. It's like basically what it is. What I want to do is I want to self-sabotage men. Fuck off.
What is he talking about?
Like weight loss, people who are going through, because that's what he does, like weight loss stuff with meal preps. So they told him that they self-sabotage. This is his reaction.
They're like, it's really hard for me to stick to my meal prep because I have kids and chores and a job. He's like, fuck off.
Scruffy con.
You scruffy con. I don't think you should have rights, but I love women, but fuck off.
From a distance. Yeah.
Yeah, he's what they call it, down bad, where you have just you're so in love with the person you're with that you're just screwed if you break up. That's the half of this guy, it seems like.
I don't know when the breakup happened, so maybe it's not immediate, but it seems
somebody
like
broke this guy's heart.
Yeah, she's not in the picture and look at him drunk at 7 a.m. So,
and what? I think they say social media is fake. Obviously, there's so many fake stuff out there, but it's not really as much a fake platform as it is a revealing platform. The way that you speak about yourself, the way that you present yourself is sort of how you feel about yourself, and it kind of shines a light on reality in a weird way. So I feel like this guy going to Instagram makes no sense. Why are you doing this on a live platform discussing this? What benefit does this give you? It makes no goddamn sense. So it reveals what he's always probably been deep down.
Yeah, exactly. If this was any other platform, like a TV platform or a, an official blog of sorts, then it would go through someone else. You would have a boss or someone being no, we're not putting this on.
Yeah.
But with social media, you just
go home. Yeah, just
hey,
instant.
I'm live, you scruffy cons.
Yeah, and even content that's so curated to be perfect, that shines a light on you too, as you're a perfectionist. You're someone who has to be seen as perfect at all times. So it is I don't know, it is sort of, it gets this bad reputation, which I agree with. Social media is pretty fucked up, but I also now will never buy this guy's book ever. So it's helped me in this way. Not that I would buy it anyways.
Talking about his book, Amazon has removed it, and apparently people were asking for refunds, and Amazon was giving people refunds. And in today's live, when I caught him, people were telling him that. He was like, no way, Amazon is giving refunds. No way. And then people were like, well, I got a refund. So,
damn.
And they also, I looked it up. I looked it on Amazon, and they took it off. There was another one that was done by someone else that had him or something in it. That one was still live, but his was not. They had removed the cover even. It was just
interesting.
So Penguin dropped him too, and this happened with Amazon. So
separately.
That these are two different things, but still related to the books, because he wrote, I think, a couple
meal prep books. How much could he possibly write? I always wonder.
I don't.
Chop some celery into a dish. Put some chicken on the stove. There you go. I mean, I don't cook. I do cook, but I cook for my meal prep company.
I think it's what's hard with meal preps, I think, is that you just get no variety if you can't cook. So you need some sort of recipes or whatever.
True. I use HelloFresh. I would love for them to sponsor me because I actually do use HelloFresh every day. And they send you the meal and then you cook it, but the directions are right there. They give every ingredient that you need is right there and you just make it. So I have to make no decisions.
Nice.
At all. It's
I tried HelloFresh briefly when I was in Glasgow, but not for me. The things were sitting there just going, to waste. So
it does happen sometimes.
Yeah.
But if we only listen to this guy, our friend John,
The scruffy con.
Scruffy con John. It reminds me of Peaky Blinders. His accent a little bit. Is he from Manchester?
No idea, actually.
Okay.
Could be.
Maybe.
Yeah. Let's now move on to the next segment, which is when John was live this morning. So he had this sponsor. He had this sponsor called Slim Food, and this sponsor dropped him. So people were just like in the comments kept on writing Slim Food.
They're trolling him.
In this morning's live, John was there with an empty bottle of wine in the background. So, he's spiraling out of control, and he was constantly going on about how Amazon would never refund people. So, he was not in the best shape. But then at one point, it was like, get your cameras out and screen record this. I'm going to talk about Slim Food.
Get
So
your
I was
cameras
like,
out
"Okay,
as if
dude."
like that's how people screenshot things. Get your cameras out.
Well,
and
I don't know
record.
if he said it that way.
Oh,
Maybe
okay.
that's just me. But you'll see, he says it because I think I took it out before that because I was like, I saw it coming. But
Interesting.
by the end of this video, like he realizes, he realizes, he had a moment of genius, being like, "Fuck, I've said too much," like,
Oh no.
and he just very abruptly closed the live. But I think we need to watch this because it's very telling.
Okay. And this is the one that you exclusively have screen recorded. This is like
Yes.
because
This
you were
is
there
breaking
live.
news.
Breaking news.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get full screen. Hold on.
No, I guarantee it. It's 23 wars on me telling this. But I'll say it anyway. But I guarantee it, they won't want me saying what I'm going to say. I'll say it then. Right, so you listening? You ready? You sat down? So basically, what it was, there's no way Skinny Food can actually fucking disagree with this. So if you want to screen record, start doing it now. You ready?
Oh man.
I'm not going to read no comments by the way, because they just can't be asked. So what it was with Skinny Food, right? Do I like them as a brand? I actually think some of the food is alright. Some of the stuff out there sell is fucking bang on. It's great. I love some of the products. Do I love them all? No. I don't love all the products. There's no way you can love all of somebody's products. You just can't do it. So I was being completely honest on social media. I was saying things and I said, listen, at the end of the day, I don't like this product, love this product, I'm not really keen on that, blah, blah, blah. And they weren't too happy about me saying certain things.
Okay, so what I've understood so far, because he's a little slurry for, well, I think reasons that he's pointing out in the background, and also his accent, for me, it's hard to place it, but he's saying Slim Foods was an okay brand. I like certain products, but certain products I didn't, and I was being honest about that on social media, and they didn't like that. That's what I heard.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's like the summary. He's like, if you want to screen record, this is the part to screen record.
Yeah.
That's so funny. Self-aware king.
Yeah,
what he needs.
totally. Like just wait to see what's coming. He's talking about the contract and everything. Like,
Oh, so he's going like, okay, he's like, you want my insider
going deep.
secrets? Yeah, you want my insider secrets on sponsorships? Here you go. Okay, I like it. But like, okay, this angle, I feel like he's specifically having the wine bottle in the background to like show like, this is why I'm doing this.
This is my life, Charlotte. You're
Yeah,
not
because
here.
it looks like very purposefully in the background for some reason. And he's wearing the same shirt as he was in the other video, which was a different day, wasn't it?
I think that he's been drunk for a while.
She's on a bender. Okay.
Yeah.
Yikes. All right, continue.
Sorry. They said,
try to
this is
work
not
the
obviously
caption
for us, we don't really like what you're saying, blah, blah, blah. Which didn't really work out too well for them. But it gets worse. I don't give a shit if they fucking see this, read this, or whatever, because it's true. And I'll speak to James, the owner of the company. I'll speak to him myself, directly, face to face.
Okay.
So,
Jay.
he turned round and said, so I just got a text message in the background. He turned around and said that there were certain things that I was saying about the company which didn't really align with them, which I think is fair enough.
Fair enough.
And I completely agree. So they rung me with an offer, right? So they rung me with an offer of 150 grand. So 150 grand, which is what they offered me. I've got the fucking contract upstairs. I can just screenshot it and just bang it online. So 150 grand is what they offered me. And they said that they wanted me to say X, Y, and Z certain things. And I disagreed with it because I said, no, photos were like that. And I wanted to come away from it. I said no, it's not for me. I don't, you know, I'm not massively. So the original contract that they come back with was, so the contract was, it was including VAT.
What? Included
And
what?
obviously-
B and C?
VAT is like a European, well, I don't know if it's just European, it's in the UK as well. VAT is a tax that is applied on things, on everything you buy. It's
Okay.
about 20%. I think it's been raised to 20%. It was like something like 17% before in the UK. In Romania, I think it's like 24%. Anyway, it's an extra tax. So this contract that he says he received, that he just didn't want to say the things for 150 grand, okay. Because his
Sure.
followers wouldn't like it, but they would like this, like
Yeah.
this is definitely on their liking. Yeah, so that included VAT, which means that he would get less. So deducting
Okay.
20%, that would be another 30 grand that would be on VAT tax.
On top
So
of it. Okay. Okay.
no, that would like be discounted from the
From the
from the
contract.
amount. So he would, if it's true that it was 150K, then he would have only received 120K because that amount included the VAT amount.
So he's going in the weeds. He's like, you want to know my tax return status? Like, this is what it was. Do you want to know like how long the royalties are? What percentage? I got it. You want my social security number? Well, hold on. Let me get my contract. I'll put it on the internet. Like, yeah.
And this
very
is
much.
the moment after this when he's just, you're gonna see it, he realizes I fucked up.
Okay.
Like
I'm
you
waiting
just see
for
it on
that.
his face.
The end, he's like, oh, that okay. If you were screen recording, now stop. That's the end. Promise me you won't keep recording now. Yikes. Okay, let's see it.
So it was VAT. No, hang on a minute. It was. I'm just trying to work it out here. So it was.
That's it, I think.
Okay. So he came to his senses for some reason, or he got a text or something that said like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah.
His mom's like, honey, quit it. I'm watching this on my iPad."
Yeah.
Okay, so very weird, just odd behavior, you know, unhinged behavior, obviously. I think the alcohol probably, allegedly, I mean, there's bottles in the background, but let's say allegedly some sort of alcohol or some sort of substance consumed, possibly impairing his judgment here.
But like, aren't those just uninhibitors? Or yeah,
I think so.
uninhibitors, or they lower your inhibitions, so you're just more like, you know, relaxed and stuff. But like, you're not gonna become a different person.
Probably not. Yeah, I mean, not to the core of your being, probably. I mean, sometimes people say things they don't mean, really, but if this is like multiple days. But here's another theory I have about this that kind of ties into all of the stuff we talk about. It's like, this sounds like he needs a friend, right? Like, if you were to call, like, if someone were to call me that was going through like a hard time and was drunk and was like complaining about contracts or whatever, like, you could go, man, you need some help, or let me come over, or like, you know, call me tomorrow, like, let's do whatever. But because we've developed these parasocial relationships on social media, from us to celebrities and even as influencers to their audience, they find it totally appropriate to like share these very intimate details about their monetary situation, about their life, about their children, about their marriage, about their breakups, about their feelings on like women in general. And it's like, I wonder if that's part of this narrative too, that this guy has 400,000 followers and 0 real life friends.
I wonder because like he's obviously been drinking alone because that's why he would pull out his phone and start going live. But why would that's another thing? Why would because he was going on and on about how much money he has, which I just don't really believe. Because like even if you look around the house and stuff, it looks
It
like
looks regular, small, typical, not like, on the
yeah.
beach somewhere in a mansion.
And even I don't know if you can see the stuff that the wine bottle sits on. It looks like an old. Do you see that white
Yeah, a
thing? That's
doily.
like an old fashioned thing from like 50 years ago or something. So kind of,
Yeah.
I would not be surprised if this is like his parents' house that he received or something, or that he was living in.
Yeah,
I
it
don't
even
know.
has like you can even see like the wallpaper here in the top
Yeah.
corner. It looks like, yeah, like an older person style, perhaps like a grandmother or something. That's the
Yeah,
vibe
but
I'm getting.
he was saying that he makes like 14K a day and stuff like that. That's a lot of money, and I
Yeah,
don't believe it. I think he's like inflating numbers, but
probably.
at the same time, like if he gets 150K for a sponsorship, do you like can you just can you imagine that money? Because I can't even imagine that amount of money. Like that's beyond my capabilities of comprehension.
Yeah, it's crazy. That's the thing. It's like I definitely we were talking this off camera before, but like to bring it publicly, like I struggle with feeling, worth people giving me money. Like that's definitely an issue I have financially. Like, oh, should like asking people for money or even asking clients, like putting it in contracts. I just feel like this weird sense of like guilt. Like don't charge anyone anything. And it's obviously not healthy. And I wish I couldn't charge or didn't need to charge people money because I'm like, oh, I know how hard it is to get money, so like don't worry about it. But then I would be like out on the street, and that's obviously not like a good solution either. So it's a very confusing thing. But yeah, when someone makes that much money from like one post or something, I can't even like grasp
Yeah,
how
yeah, I
that would
can't imagine that.
feel for me to do. I'd be like, oh my God, I'm so guilty about it. Like I couldn't take it. I would be like, no, I'll do it for free. I love your product. I'll just like, I'll pay you to promote it. Like, I don't know. I got
Yeah.
issues.
I'm so like offended that he got offered this much money because I find it just offensive considering that I never got more like $200 on a sponsorship. I'm like,
Same.
it's not makes no sense that they would pay him that much. And then this is the kind of people that receive those sponsorships, just look at him. Like he's a wreck.
Yeah, I don't get it. I mean, it must work, I suppose, but then a part of me is like, does it work? Because half people have influencers, they're fake followers anyways. Like they bought the followers or somehow, I don't know, maybe that's not true, but like we know for a fact that engagement on social media and followers does not equate sales.
Yeah.
That's been proven
But
time
I
and time
don't
again.
think I mean, obviously, like with marketing and stuff, I don't think it's all about sales. Sometimes it's also about just like creating the image of the company and just like making sure that people know of it. And so there's that. And I think that's why they
That's
paid
true.
me, for example, $200 because nobody was expecting any sales from that. So
Just
I think it's
awareness.
just
Yeah.
awareness, yeah. And once you hear it and see it many times, and it's you always heard of it with like good reviews, or it was just pushed on you and you had these like associations that it's a good company, later
Yeah.
on down the line you're more likely to buy. And I think this is why so much money is pushed into market, and I think it works. It's a la long, but
Yeah.
still 150K, even
It's a lot.
including VAT. That's something that is so crazy to me.
That's like not a 9,000, like 9.5, well, $9,500 a month about, right? Because like I know that 100,000 a year is 8,300 a month.
Don't know what this.
I don't
I
know.
don't know.
I only know
what
that
you-
because I'm like, okay, hypothetically, if I want to make $100,000, you have to make like about 8,000
But this is
something a
also
month.
in pounds, so that would be way
Oh,
more
even
in
more.
dollars.
Oh. So yeah, he's making like 10 grand a month at the minimum for one sponsorship. If you were to like say,
Yeah.
okay, we're gonna pay you out annually with $150,000, which is still an amazing salary. That's only one little portion of your income. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
You're gonna be living a good life. You're gonna be living that Jay Shetty life very shortly if you make that
But
money.
that's not I don't know if that's true
I don't
because
know either.
I
Yeah.
don't know if he's telling the truth. But if he is telling the truth, then it's crazy the amount of money that influencers get paid.
Yeah.
It's just
I
crazy.
mean, I don't know. I don't know to believe people or not. Because, like, I'm like, oh my God, how is that possible? But then people, like, the people that I never believe, which I'm questioning whether I should or not, are the people who, like, I charge $100,000 for coaching on manifestation. And I made $7 million last year. It's amazing. I'm like, is that a lie? Because obviously they're selling how to teach you how to make money. Like Dean Graziosi saying, I'll teach you how to be a millionaire while he's living in his car. Like, that's lying. But like, I don't know. But then again, he did make that money later. I don't know. I never know.
I think at least with this guy, um, he said it so many times. Like everyone in the comments was like, "Why do you keep telling us about how much money you make? We don't care." Like, um,
We want
I think there's
recipes.
like a level of insecurity about it. So I feel like
Yeah.
if he was really making that amount, like 14K a day, like he said, and he had a sponsorship of 150K and stuff, I don't think he would like he would need to scream it off to, like
Yeah. That's a
you don't
lot.
need to say it when you're like fine. I think you
Unless
need to
he
say it when you're
does.
insecure.
Yeah. Unless he
Yeah,
does make
yeah,
it and it's not good. Like, it didn't change anything. Like you make the money that you think you need and then you're still unhappy. So you're like, oh shit, now what? Like, my goals have been surpassed and I'm still feeling like absolute garbage. Like, then I think that's
yeah.
what leads people to start ranting on Instagram.
Yeah, probably. It's because it is quite sad if you are making that kind of money and then your girlfriend still dumps you and you still are alone and drunk at 7 a.m. and with no friends, so you have to go live. That is still, you're still living a sad life.
Yeah. Money's and
And
everything,
he's
for sure.
clearly kicking everyone. Should we watch some of the other one where he's
Yeah,
just. Uh,
we should.
Maybe that one also has like captions.
We'll see. I don't know if it's going to be helpful or worse. Hold on. Let me get my. There it is. Okay. This one, he looks like he just got freshly punched. I
Yeah.
sort of have sympathy for him in a way, in a weird way. Like, because, this is it's so overtly horrible that, like, you must, like, as you're saying, if you're not aware that, like, this is career ending, there's something mentally wrong, So it's almost like he's either not aware of how bad it is because he's like inebriated or whatever, or he doesn't care, which means he has no self-worth at this point. And so both situations are sad.
Yeah.
I think the bigger conversation is like, why on social media and what does this mean about us consuming it, and like how do we deal with like seeing stuff like this? Like, it's very hard to now know what to feel.
It's a lot more disturbing than I thought. When I first heard, like I first read about it in the news, so I was like, oh, okay, I'm gonna go and watch it. And once I started watching, I was like, ooh, okay, this is this is bad. Like the news don't quite capture the essence of just how bad this is.
Yeah, like he said some bad things. Like, he obviously disrespected women, and like he's unhinged for sure. But I think the wider context of this is like, this guy has got issues, and he needs help, and he doesn't look like he has a support group of friends, or at least they're not getting through to him because he's doing
Yeah.
this publicly. Maybe this is his cry. Like, before, I think cries for help were like, private things, like you might do something or cheat on somebody, or not show up for work, or something would happen where that was your cry for help. And now cries for help come out like to 1,000 people in real time, which is interesting.
Yeah.
It's a very different dynamic.
And obviously, like bad. Like there's no way that this sponsor would ever come back to him. They had already dropped him, I think. So that didn't work out. But at the same time, other sponsors, other people will see this in the news, and they'll be like, "Don't go anywhere close to that guy," because like, and it sucks because obviously he's not in a good position in life,
Yeah.
but at the same time, like, you did it to yourself. Like, why are you going live? Like,
I
going
know.
live as an influencer is work. Like, that's your
Mm-hmm.
job.
Mm-hmm.
That's not your, like, oh, I'm chilling with my 50 followers who are my close friends. That's not what that
Well,
is.
that's why it gets
It's
confused, because 50 of your closest friends still aren't your friends if they're on Facebook or Instagram, whatever. It's like he's looking at himself through the, he's only looking at himself while he's recording this. And that's
Yeah.
the sad part, because even when you're sharing all this shit with all these people, you're still alone. And that's the issue
Yeah.
with social media generally. But it just, to me, it's like, yeah, the reason why this is public is something more sad than even what he's saying or what he's acting like. It's like, oh, like it shows that, yeah, what the image is, what the goal that we all have is, like, growing and being there on this, social media platform and sharing with our community.
Yeah.
Same thing with the sponsors. Like, the sponsors are there for you until you fuck up, and then they're gone, and now you're on your own again. It's like, no matter, all roads lead to you being alone unless you're on point all the time. And that's a lot of pressure for all of us.
Yeah. That's true. That's true. At the same time, I find that, if this is the kind of thing that he actually thinks and feels, and these are the people, and we'll see in this video, because this is where he's addressing like everyone who
Okay.
basically follows him.
I'm ready.
So it's kind of, if that's how he feels about his actual followers, and just like we do sometimes get like donations and stuff, I'm pretty sure that he gets that. People buy his book, like people get, like, actually invest like into him, and then imagine him calling you like fat and whatever. You feel awful, like, as a supporter or something, so you probably will step away from ever supporting him. And
Yeah.
it sucks that he managed to, like, really insult, like, everyone. Everyone, especially women, because mostly women will be the ones cooking meals. Like, sure, men cook too, I'm not saying they don't, but, like, when it comes to traditional gender norms, it's women in the family that actually do the cooking most times.
Sure. Yeah, I cook
And he's
for the most
just
part.
gone on to insult all women and be like, you're scruffy cons.
This is what he's going to tell everyone. I'm assuming. I'm going to project.
Unfollow me.
That's what he's going to tell everyone to do.
It's so much worse.
Possibly.
I will actually do something obscene for you.
Dave Hollis sounds like a toy compared to this guy.
Dave Hollis had the PG Disney version of this
Yeah.
guy's BBC
Quite
rant.
literally.
BBC R-rated rant. All right, here it goes. Now, this is on his actual page. This is like raw cut from him.
They actually have so close friends. Fucking hell, man, else.
Can you raise the captions a bit?
Yeah, they already look like they're not good, but
You got white around your nose, but it's definitely not from a sniff. You've got a polo in your nose. Really?
it's a polo.
I'm starving. I'm gonna get a kebab shortly. I want the biggest kebab. It's only half-9.
Should have meal prepped.
He's high. It's like you sit there. Right, I tell you what, I'm gonna wait for John to go back online. Yeah, he's online, yeah. Fucking hell. Really? You must have better things to do. I don't see it. Oh my God. I'm thinking about getting one. So you're telling me that I need to come off live and go to sleep, but yet you're the one that kind of fixated to it. If you've got that much of a fucking brilliant life, fucking piss off. Weird. Hey, John, you need to get off live. Really? What are you doing? I'm on live. Shut up. It's weird.
Polos are mints.
Fucking hell. What I want to do is I've got no life of my own, so I want to kind of project it onto you. Fuck me. It's pathetic.
He says doing the same exact thing.
I know, it's like,
It's like, you're literally projecting right now.
it's like, do you not see that? Like, does he not know? Like, It is such a weird. It makes me feel like this is like a case study almost, like a real time case study. Like, okay, unhinged man gets on Instagram Live, complains how people are so obsessed with him being on live. What am I supposed to do with that? Like, as a therapist, like, what would they say? Like, okay, well, do you see that you also do that? And why are you projecting your feelings onto your followers? They're doing the same thing you're doing. Like, if they're not good enough for you, why are you delivering this content to them?
Yeah, exactly. I think this would be a case even for therapists. They would have to be like, wait, what's going on? Um,
Yeah,
now I'm sure they would have more insight than me, but at the same
sure.
time, this is just so like it makes so little sense the way he's spiraling.
He's
He's
like, why do
literally
you
like
fixate
going
on
with
me?
every thought. Yeah, it's like why are you alive if you're not
Why do you fixate
fixated
on
with your
you?
audience? Yeah,
Yeah. I guess he just wants people to fawn over him. Like, okay, this is for people who are obsessed with me positively. If you're here negatively or to watch me spiral, then I don't know why you're here. But like, why is he here? Because he's obviously not thriving. So you're not trying to, document a good thing happening in your life. So why are you doing it? It's just like, whoa, it's interesting. My mind is blown. I want to figure this guy
like
out. I can fix him.
it's like story in a frame, in another frame, in another frame,
It's like
like a mirror in front of a mirror, and you get like
it's like Modern Family, the intro scene where they all have the different frames. It's
yeah,
just that
exactly.
looped into eternity.
Yeah.
God, social media, man. This is our demise. Okay. Let's continue.
Promise me to never go on live drunk.
Yeah, I'll see it. Like, Cam, I'm screenshotting this right now for your own good. Get off. Like, you don't care about me. I'm like, oh no. Here we go.
I will be here reacting to it.
You're like, okay, we're gonna
Kayla
react
has
to
made it on the Cringe-Fluencers.
we're gonna react to my meltdown. Let's analyze this. That would be the most meta thing possible.
Yeah, I would
Our
love
own-
that.
We would no. The most meta thing possible would be us going live to do like an unhinged Instagram live. Then another channel covers it as like, oh my god, content. Then we take that piece of content and analyze that and what they said about us.
Oh yeah, don't worry. This has been done. Like yeah. There's like reactions to reactions to reactions. In fact, Def Noodles, the one that we just talked about, did something like of the sort recently with people who called him out. So
Interesting.
you know,
Okay, so it's a genre basically. All right.
well, I mean, he made like we should talk about him sometime. But he's unhinged too. So
Okay. I'm adding him to the list as we speak.
People keep saying about this show. I actually left Charlotte.
Okay. I don't believe that, sir.
But I don't see the kind of... Sam, 24-hour bender, is it? Well, I mean, you're only jealous because you're going to go to work tomorrow. You fucking scruff. So you've got to get up tomorrow and go to work. Fucking work. And then when you're at work, you're going to... I'm at work. What are you doing? Work? Fucking stiff. Absolute fucking banana. I don't fucking read all this shit.
That's the same thing as Dave saying to the guy, like, I'm sorry you don't have a job. You should buy my book. And then you'll learn how to get some purpose in your life. Like, they hate work. They hate jobs. They're disgusted by jobs.
He talks a lot about the 9 to 5. Like he hates everyone who has a 9 to 5 is a fucking idiot. But you know what I was just thinking just now. It's just because I'm reading the comments here and people like commenting on Dave Hollis and stuff. Like the difference is so stark, and it shows like the big difference in culture between the British and the Americans. The British are like this is the British.
The British version.
Depressed, like very like great, just what you see, great, depressed, like constantly cussing, like very very badly, extreme cussing, like they really really hurt you straight in the soul when they cuss you. They know how to cuss, let's just say that. And then the Americans, at least like from my understanding of America, which is not a lot, but they're just very like jolly and very like, they
Oh,
want
it's
to have
all
a good
repressed.
time.
It's repressed down deep in our soul. But we're told to smile because we live in the best country on earth. So you're not allowed to express yourself. But internally, we're all, dead inside as well. I think you guys are more advanced, honestly.
But when Dave Hollis was having a breakdown, he was just so, like yeah, exactly.
God made me better. I love you guys and my children.
The difference is like insane between this and Dave Hollis. Like I just even like in Dave Hollis was on the patio of peace, and there was a pool in the background. Look at this guy. There's like this is literally Britain. This is so hilarious to me because this is what I experienced in Britain. Just very dark, especially because in Scotland it's always so dark and everyone is
Rainy.
drunk all the time. So this is typical like 3 p.m. That's what it looks like.
Yeah. Dave's got the patio piece. John, the meal prep guy's got the mom's house of the morbid mom's house or something where he does his breakdowns.
This
Hello,
looks
boys.
like a British scene from Psycho.
Yeah. You know
Like
what?
his mom could be stuffed somewhere out, on the other side
Oh
of the
God,
room.
that's gonna be like the twist of this. Like, yeah. Meanwhile,
Yeah.
occupants of this home were no longer breathing. Like, oh God. Because like these breakdowns, sometimes you'll see something like this, and then at the end of it, it's like, oh, yeah, there was a true crime element to it, or like something crazier happened, and this is like now it's been recorded. And now it all makes sense in the context when you're looking back at it. This is sort of
Oh
concerning.
my God, this is foreshadowing.
Right?
Oh no, don't do anything to Charlotte, please.
Yeah.
Just stay in your
Ugh.
lane. Leave Charlotte alone.
Yeah, maybe like him going publicly prevents that from happening because now it's like too obvious who would have, people are on alert now. But sometimes
Yeah.
like when people do crazy stuff, they record on YouTube, they don't have any followers or anything, and they'll post stuff, but then like looking back, they're like, oh, yeah, you could take context from that piece of content that they made, after the fact. But during, you're like, I don't know, this guy could just be crazy. Who knows? It's interesting.
I watched Don't Fuck with Cats on Netflix.
Yes, that's a good
That
documentary.
was oh gosh, that was crazy. I don't think this is what this is. I think he's literally just like alone and drunk, so he has nothing to do and nobody to talk to. So he was like, I know, I'm gonna go live and talk to my followers. So I don't think he's actually, if anything, it kind of looks like he was hit. So
Yeah.
and I don't think him. Well, I mean, it's not like Britain is perfect or anything, but I think that people are more like keen to call the police, if anything happens. Because people were like, even in the chat, people were like, "Call the police!" What? Call the police? I think you heard him at the beginning, because he was live drunk.
I call the police. You want me to call the police on myself? No. Fuck you. Fucking scruff. I'm gonna start
Stiff?
quoting
What
this in
is
my.
stiff? I mean, I know what stiff means, but I don't know as an insult what that means.
I like the insults. I'm not gonna lie. Like, oh, you banana. You call someone a banana. Oh, you banana. It's like, oh. I'm like, oh, thank you. I'm delicious and rectangular. I don't know. Cylindrical.
Well, you're gonna like what's coming here.
Okay. Oh, okay. I'm excited. Okay. He's got long pauses, this guy.
He's reading comments, but
really-
he's struggling
I
because
really
he's
wanna be
drunk.
Successful. Yeah. What do you need to do to be successful? Yeah. I want to be. I want to be like you. You fucking idiot.
Self-aware king.
Yeah, but you do realise that you're never going to be like me. So you're always going to be a fucking scruffy little fucking trump. Yeah. So, is that going to annoy people? Yeah. So fucking what? If it annoys you, then obviously I'm not the person for you. Crazy.
Are you okay?
Nobody's ever said they want to be like you. Yeah. With like millions of followers, I would suggest that that's actually all the shit.
Bro, you didn't hit the 500,000 yet.
Yeah. Well, who knows? Maybe he's. I don't know.
Maybe like from like all combined together.
Yeah, maybe that's what he means. But still,
Maybe. Yeah. Okay.
You see, the thing is, people kind of like they watch social media on a constant basis. You're guilty of it if you're reading this, if you're posting something that I don't even fucking read. I can't even be asked reading it. But if you read stuff, there is a reason. There's a reason that people are successful. It's because they're actually focusing on their own shit and not yours. And what you're doing is like, oh my god, yeah, I think I just want to break, I just want to cry, I want to scream. And it's that. Fuck off. No one gives a shit. All I've just seen there is pleased. That's it. Have you managed to get on a cutscene? But you can you sat at home, like, you know, your scruffy little house with your own fucking trampy house, and there's loads of shit around your house. You can just tell. And they're going, oh, fucking hell, hang on, who's this meal prep king? You know, he seems like he's got his house together. He seems like he's doing really well. He seems like he's doing this, that, and I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to try and do what he does. Doesn't work for you because you're a fucking tramp. There's a reason for that. Scalable doesn't work for.
He doesn't mean Trump like Trump president. He just means like that's a different word, right?
I think he means tramp. Like, I don't know what he means.
Lady in the Trump. Okay.
Yeah, I think that's what he means. Otherwise, no, I don't think he means Donald Trump.
I don't think so. But I'm like, he said it like 18 times. I guess I should ask just to clarify.
Yeah.
Okay, so they're tramps. Okay, so they're like,
I think
you know.
so. I'm not sure.
losers.
I can't tell.
Okay.
I think it is.
Okay.
Fucking lazy bastards. He's not a good man whatsoever. Oh my god, please, 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 please tempt me as a good man. Who gives a fuck?
Fork.
I love it when people put massive messages. Because all I do is go, chum!
What does that mean?
Why are you insulting
Chum.
people? Because you're all fucking lazy fuckers. Lazy bum bastards. The lot of you. Let me explain something to you, right? So when was the last time that you said, I'm going to actually, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. The meal prep king is going to give me the thing. And then 2 weeks later, you're going, fucking hell. I've got a fucking kebab. It's throwing down my mouth. Piss off.
Okay, here's another theory I have about self-help people. We've talked about this before. They all absolutely hate all the people that follow them deep down inside. It came out with Dave Hollis when he went on his live and had a meltdown. It came out when Rachel did her toilet gate. It comes out when certain people get pushback from haters or whatever. There's a certain thing where it's like, no, I'm better than everyone else, and that's the difference between me. Because when someone says, like, it's not going to work for me, like, what your tips aren't working for the typical person, they freak out, and they're like, well, that's because you're lazy, this, and da-da-da-da-da. And because they think they're not that, and everyone else that follows them is, that's why it doesn't work for them. But that would have to mean that you don't think very highly of the people who follow you, yet you're trying to tell them that you love them. It's very confusing.
Yeah, I have. Yeah, I agree with that. I think what is happening is likely that they're very narcissistic people, and I think that they have allowed the positive comments to go to their heads, so they start to believe that they're so much above the rest of people.
Society. Yeah.
But I think with social media, it's very like I don't. Well, first of all, I can't take compliments, so that's one thing. But like I don't think it's like ever because the people watching while they know you, it's only like that hour, that half an hour, that whatever that you're doing the thing. You know, they don't know the rest of the
real
24
you.
hours and. So that they don't know the real you, but there's just so much more beyond the hour thing, beyond the whatever it is that you can post. Because I can post a video that's half an hour, And I can talk about myself, but like when I spend time with my sister, it's a completely, she knows
Yeah,
so
different
much more. She
experience.
knows a big slice of it rather than like this tiny slice. I think there's that. So that's why when it comes to social media, I think like when you take the compliments or when you take the hate,
Mm-hmm.
it can really like affect you if you believe it. Like
Yes.
if either way, like even when you believe the compliments, it can affect you, and it's distorting your sense of who you are and your sense of reality.
Mm-hmm.
And I think with negative, and it comes hand in hand with like the negative comments. So when they're getting the positive comments and they're like, oh my god, I'm better than everyone, oh my god, I'm like, whoa. And
Mm-hmm.
then you get a comment being like, you just shut up, like someone saying something to him being like, you get outraged because how dare this commoner, this tramp,
Tramp.
like say something to you like that. You're so much more
Mm-hmm.
above, like, so it's completely distorted. It makes no sense. But I don't understand why they hate the audience, because like you just literally wouldn't have, like, you wouldn't have a book, you wouldn't have anything if you didn't have that audience. Like, I don't get it, like on a
Mm-hmm.
logical basis, don't you have some sort of like gratitude for that? Because like what do you think happened there that made you so successful? If
Yeah.
you could make the best meal preps in the world, if you made them in a void, you get nothing, you get no books, you get nothing.
I wonder that a lot all the time about that, because it's something that Rachel Hollis said in her interview with the Skinny Confidential that we talked about. And there's an episode, if you want to go back and watch the whole thing, we reviewed like the whole, it was like what, an hour long interview. But basically in it, Rachel talks about her cancellation, and like a lot of it was, projecting on her audience that they forced her to be a certain thing that she never really wanted to be. Like, people wanted a boss babe motivational speaker, and that's what they got when they, thought of me. But that's not the real me. I just want to make cool shit with Jon Favreau or whatever she was saying, And I think about that all the time. I'm like, you could do all the things that you say you want to do, but you're not going to be universally worshipped. And that, I think, is her true desire in life. And so, like, you really can't set a goal with other people have to take the action to do it. And that's where I start to go, how dare you, almost, that's how I feel. Like, how dare you set a goal and say, I want to make $1 million, when that $1 million has to come out of someone else's pocket. Like, it's almost like you think you're better than everyone else, that you can set the goal for what other people spend. Like, it's so weird to me. And then at the same time go, I actually don't want to do any of this for you. You're forcing me to. You've made this, person up in your head. It's not even who I am. It's just like, then what are we doing? Why don't you just write a book for yourself then? Or why don't you just write a screenplay to sell it? Like, why do you need to have a community? Like, why do you need to do all this stuff where people are involved and then you hate them? I don't get it, other than they want the money because those people have wallets. That's the only thing I could think of.
Yeah, I think to some extent it's that idea that you post what you want to post, and then something hits the algorithm and hits a multitude of people, and over time you start posting the things that those people want, and less of the things that you want. So for Rachel Hollis, she started as a writer in like narrative fiction, and she wrote like the trilogy, what was it called,
Party girl.
the party girl, yeah. And after that's what she was doing as she wanted to do, and then she hit it big with like self-help, and then she started only writing self-help. So I
Yeah.
think there's like a level of resentment that she didn't, that the people out there in the world watching and stuff didn't actually like the thing that she wanted to make. But then at the same time, she didn't have to do the thing, the self-help thing, or overdo the self-help thing to the point where she grows like resentful of it. Like I think you can, or I hope that you can strike a balance between the thing that you want to do and the thing that is actually getting the numbers and like helping out in the bigger, with bigger numbers or whatever. So
Yeah.
that's the thing that I feel like people do. They just go, in order to be successful, I only need to do the thing that they want, and they stop doing any of the things that they actually like and enjoy, and
Mm-hmm.
of course they will grow resentful of it. because they stopped enjoying completely because they've been chasing the money, they've been chasing the numbers. So I think that this is the only thing that makes sense to me, because otherwise why would they hate the people watching? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think that, yeah, I definitely agree. And I think resentment is the perfect word that sums it up. But I also think, I wonder, at least in the self-help space and even meal prepping too, it's like, it's almost maybe they feel, and I get this sense a lot from these self-help people, in a way, they almost are like, this is too easy. Like, I made this money, this massive fortune by telling people to just do it, to just do it, like just do the marathon, or suck it up, sissy, like, or whatever, girl, wash your face, like just very, very simple, basic ass principles that everyone inherently knows if you've grown up in any sort of society. Like, if you've read the 10 Commandments, you basically understand, like, okay, don't kill people, don't do this, be nice to people. Like, we all sort of know that already, whether you're like really in tune with that or not. You probably know, okay, this will piss people off, this is probably the right thing, and this is like probably the wrong thing. So I wonder if there's a sense of guilt there, or a sense of like, if you're someone who needed my book to change your life and all I said was just try, you'd probably be like, that person's dumb, and maybe they feel like, wow, like, if you like my stuff, which is so stupid and simple, like, you probably are a dumb person. Like, that's probably what they're thinking in their head at some level, maybe.
Yeah. I wonder if that, yeah, because it's I, with that's, I just feel like they can't fathom it. They can't fathom that somebody would, like, and that would speak to like a very deep rooted hate, self-hatred, that, which, fair enough, but it's probably also sabotage. Like, they just, like you said, they can't believe how easy it was, so they'd have no gratitude for it in the first place, and they don't feel like they deserve it deep down, so they will sabotage.
I wonder too if it like shatters their illusions of who they look up to. Like, if they think like Tony Robbins is like the king and he's so great, and like, oh, I would love to be like him just to have the wisdom that he has. And then you get to the level where you're like seeing who he is as a person. You're like, oh, he's just a person. Oh, okay. So we're
Not
all just
only
people.
is he just a person, but he's like trash person.
He's a trash person, and he also likes.
What excites me most is see a person die.
Yeah.
He says things like that. So it's like, oh God. And then you feel like you're alone because all these leaders that you thought were taking care of you are actually just people that don't know what the fuck they're doing either. So that shatters your illusion of like, we're all safe under the leadership of these people that we worship. And it's like scary. So then you try to like figure that out somehow through your work. And then you start hating the people who like you, because you're like, oh, I'm someone who likes other people. I hate myself. So now I hate you. Projection.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, totally. I agree. And I think this is this is reminiscent of like people like kind of dropping religion and stuff, because they probably go through the same. You kind of realize you're alone. And I think at the very bottom of like everything and every insecurity that we all have, that's the biggest one. Like, just being alone. And I think that's what you realize. You're just like this guy. Like, he's got the money, or he I don't know how much he makes, but he definitely makes a lot more than me. So maybe he doesn't make 150K like he said. Maybe that was an inflated number, but he makes money, and he's alone. He's here on live having a breakdown because he's alone. If there was a girlfriend, if there was a child there, if there was someone there, they would have probably stopped him from this life.
Or a sense of like self-esteem that's high enough to go, I'm not gonna, my life's long, I got a lot of things I want to do, I'm not gonna ruin it on this Instagram live that's meaningless. But you know, here we are.
Let's keep watching a little bit, because I think this is I'm just so sorry, but I'm having fun with this.
It sort of looks like, I know there's a missing R here, but like when you look at it all together, it looks like thermal prepking. Thermal prepking. I'm like, oh, it could be like a science company.
New weight loss.
Try my new thermal prepking. It'll prep you to be thermal. Thank you, Small Steps
Small
Daily.
Steps.
Yeah, thank you. Small Steps
so much.
Daily. it showed a Shiba dog laughing slightly while blushing and covering his mouth with one arm. In case you were wondering.
Thank you.
And for that, I will. This is my new favorite soundbite. You ready?
They're going to be dropping some really powerful, amazing, life-changing shiz.
I want to incorporate that somehow into like our intro or something. It's so
That's
good.
funny.
Life-changing
Yeah.
shiz. Okay, here we go.
Not many people can kind of take that kind of scrutiny because, like, you said that. Was it the truth? Yeah. End of conversation.
What, John? What? Sorry, I'm fixing ourselves.
I love getting messages off fat people. Because I always said to them, how much do you weigh? Well, I weigh, I think, about 15 stone. I told you, I'm 5 foot. Really? So you're a fucking mammoth of like this tall. And then you want to blame everybody else. And then when some people message me, all they do is like, honestly, you've literally sure. It's bad. It's really bad. The fact that you fucking pointed out, it's terrible. It's like, bleh, I want to be sick. Can't even read that. I just heard the word Trump. It says that. They go too quick, so I don't read them.
Trump.
I'm committed to 8 week. No, that's gone. We probably in the pot. That's gone. Can't even read them. I'm looking at investors, minted. 1.75 million was raised, by the way, with that. Can't be asked. Stop fucking embarrassing yourself. If you're fat and overweight, sort your shit out. Stop fucking making excuses. I'm fat. I'm overweight. Look at the size of me. What I'm going to do. Oh, my God. Yeah, there's a reason for that. Yeah, but what am I going to do? You're fat. You fucking sort your shit out. Done and dusted.
Done and dusted. I
Nobody
love
feels
that
that.
phrase.
I can't be asked reading that.
Done and dusted.
Well, I can't read dyslexia either. Is that weird blonde person still saying the same things? Yeah.
I was not on this one, but on the other live, I was constantly
Yeah, it
commenting,
does
be
hurt
like,
a lot of
shut
people.
up, we don't
They
care about your
really
money.
He's getting personally triggered by your comments.
I don't think he saw them because, drunk, but,
Yeah.
I was there just joining the mob. I loved it.
You're like, this is the experience that I've been waiting for all my life to be in a live. Oof. I did watch some of the Dave Hollis stuff live. I didn't comment, but I was watching it in real time, as they say, because I was recording it as it was happening, which is crazy.
Yeah.
It's a special moment.
Yeah.
Special moment in every
definitely.
girl's life where you watch an influencer break down over Instagram.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. I think what you said was so true. Like, we all kind of come to the conclusion maybe, or if there is someone who starts to feel badly, it's like you do feel like you're alone. And I feel like this guy, this is his response of like coming to that conclusion. Like he is alone and that sucks. And like, he's just going to take it out on everybody. Just fuck you guys. It doesn't matter. Thank you, Anna.
Thank you, Anna.
Anna chose a Shiba dog happily massaging his cheeks with his mouth wide open. I wish I could see it. I wish I could be there for that moment. But
There's a first for everything.
do you like Shiba dogs, Cam?
I'm gonna look it up. I don't know what
It's like
they
the little
are.
blonde dog that's like very quiet. They say they're good for like shy
Oh,
people.
they're so cute.
They're cute?
I love it. It's so cute.
Bold-faced lie.
You hate dogs. I know it. I'm just kidding.
No, it's so cute. I love it.
Bold-faced lie.
Yeah.
Thanks, Anna.
It's funny that he's having this like such a strong reaction because William is saying in the comments, like if you are a weight loss influencer, you are literally the other coin of it is people who need to lose weight.
Or he has no audience and no $15 million or $150,000. Yeah.
Yeah.
But they resent it so much. What is that? It goes across the board, I think. Honestly, I get the vibe from all of these influencers that they hate the people they must interact with. And is it because it's a means to an end? Like they have to do it, so therefore it's like any job. Like if you could be passionate about, numbers or math, but as soon as you have to do it for 8 hours a day, 40 hours a week, it becomes a nightmare. Like, is that what it is? Maybe?
I don't think that's what it is. I think that I believe that they push themselves or force themselves to say things, I love you guys so much, for like years, and just like put this like facade on.
Yeah.
And they have to be so nice, and they go live, and obviously there's people like in this guy's case, there's people like commenting, be like, what the fuck is this? So they have to just constantly keep a smile on, and I think it breaks at one point, and they're
Just can't do it.
they start to hate it, and then it turns into a forced thing where they're like, okay, I'm gonna go live, I'm gonna be as nice as I could possibly be. And they feel fake because they are fake. And I think in somewhere in this, you start to hate it. Like you start to really hate it, like deep down,
It bleeds into your real life. Like maybe you have separation. Like, okay, like, when I used to do camera stuff, like go into work and like do on camera presentations of whatever we were talking about when I was in journalism, like I didn't talk the same way. I knew that it's sort of like acting, like a child actor versus a child influencer. Like a child actor knows, like I'm on set. The director has said action, like now I'm working. And when he says cut, I'm no longer working. Like it's a very clear cut way to go, okay, I can put that aside. Whatever happened. Like that persona is done. When you're doing this stuff that morphs into, hey, here's my life. Hey, here's my children. Hey, here's my kitchen. There's nobody telling you, okay, you can now go back to who you are. And maybe those blurred lines are what starts to we have never lived through this as humanity, as far as I know, unless there was some lost ancient society that had technology. So this is all new, these people, this guy at his age, we don't have a roadmap to see what people, when they become, I don't know, how old is this guy, 50? Like when a 50-year-old becomes sort of like unhinged and has a public platform. Like this is the first time we're seeing this. And we don't know if there's like a disorder that comes from that mentally, like influencer disorder. Who knows? I don't know.
Yeah.
It could be.
I mean, could be in a few years, like added to the
DSM.
B, what's it called? The cluster B personality.
Influenceritis.
That's hilarious. But it could be. And I think that it's particularly like that with people who grow fast, because all of these, like even Rachel Hollis, like she blew up. Like I think there's a thing in like blowing up, keep doing what you hate, because that's the thing or not that you hate, but you once liked, but then you had to continuously only do that because you're chasing the money and the numbers. So you start to hate it, and at the same time you haven't had that like slow burn of like growing, and like just because I've never seen, or I don't know if never, but like rarely have I ever seen like an influencer who grew very slowly for years and just like pushed through and worked really hard,
Yeah.
that actually goes and blows it like that. Like every time this happened, it was like with like the guys from Vine, with Gabby Hanna, with Jake Paul, with like Logan Paul, because they went from Vine to YouTube, they blew up really fast. And I think they were big on Vine, but it was nothing like YouTube.
Yeah.
And
definitely not
and
financially.
then
Yeah.
they shot themselves in the foot. But with people who were like slow burn, like what's her name, Jenna Marbles, no, I forget, the biggest influencer ever who quit.
Jenna Marbles, yeah.
Oh yeah, Jenna Marbles. I thought I had it wrong. Sorry. Jenna Marbles, for example. I mean, she did like essentially like quit YouTube 2 years ago, was it? But like the things that she said were problematic were nowhere near like the level of Jake Paul or anything. You
Or
know,
Shane
like
Dawson,
or Shane Dawson or anything.
who's back.
And
yeah.
I don't know if there's something in that, because they kind of slowly built an audience and slowly learned how to do it, how to do. I don't know if that's the reason, but it kind of seems like whenever they get this fast track to success or
Yeah.
something, it's very easy to lose it too.
Yeah, I definitely. And I think that's evident. I just don't think human minds are, in any mind, humans definitely, but anything is meant to know this many people, is meant to be seen by this many people. Like, we haven't caught up to technology. Our brains have not evolved past. Like, when we were born, you had to be on television to be seen by this many people. And that involved a whole bunch of professional equipment and radio waves, and it was expensive to make. So those people were limited, and they were hidden, because once they got off set or did whatever, they were home. You didn't know what the repercussions of feeling like that were. But even look at like a Marilyn Monroe, that ended in tragedy, and that was like before things were even really in Hollywood, so there's like, I think we're like proceeding because we think like, oh, the success, there's someone out there that has succeeded in this in a healthy way. And I don't know if that's true. I think it's like, once you're seen like that in front of a billion people, and the more intimate it is, the worse it is for you. I don't know if I think maybe something breaks in your brain. You're just never going to be the same unless you get some like deep therapy and go away from the limelight. I don't know though. I mean, I can't think of one person I'm like, yeah, they're super uber famous and they're totally fine.
No, I can't say that I know either.
Even like they said that Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie were like fighting on an airplane. I just saw that newspaper article come up, and I'm like, can you imagine that? Like, I would think my life would be I'd be like, wow, I've really got off the hinge here. I'm fighting now with my partner on an airplane. But like all these other issues make sense because I'm like a loser. But like someone who's so successful and like is beautiful and loved and adored still does those things, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah. And I think with the regular celebrities, I can't even like fathom what that is like, because people like come up to them and like try to get in their houses, and like, like Johnny Depp talked about that. But basically, I think it's a whole new level where they just like have to block. They block anything that the newspapers say, anything that people say. But now it's become like a bit different recently, because now people really ask for reparations lately. I think, I don't know if cancel culture has made it this way. I personally am. I know it's controversial, but I'm not exactly against cancel culture. I don't think it works, but it's kind of like a momentary thing. It works in the moment, but then I've seen so many of them be canceled, and they come back like they
Yeah,
still get
stronger.
millions of views, and like sometimes even stronger. Yeah, sometimes like the algorithm likes them, and like
The
so.
controversy did them well because now they're like, known by more people. Yeah.
Yeah, Kim Kardashian, like she does like all the, I just made a video about this that will go out later today, but she has done so many things to upset so many cultures. So she's cultural appropriation, like right, left, and center, since, I mean, it's probably gone like even further, but I traced it back to 2017. So it's like a lot of these things have helped her in her career, and including the way that she came to fame through like a porn movie and stuff.
But think
So
about how that makes that person feel too. Like, regardless of that stuff, like, so you think of the actual trajectory and go, wow, when I was more problematic, when I caused more people harm, it benefited me financially. It benefited me with other people liking me more. How does that make you feel at night? Probably not very good. Probably like the same like this guy. Like, oh, I'm just like telling people to meal prep. But in reality, like, it's other issues that's causing them to be overweight or causing them to feel the way that they feel about themselves. It has nothing to do with me. It has nothing to do with anything I'm doing. It's all pointless. Like, I think that's this guy's coming to, is sort of the wrap up, is like he's just decided like none of this fucking matters.
yeah, I think it's kind of like what's it called, like a self, I don't know what it's called. It's like a loop, essentially. Like, I do this problematic thing, people like, this boosts my numbers, this whatever, then I get more people, then I get more money, then I do another problematic thing. So it's like a, they keep reinforcing the same idea that the more bad things I do, well, at
And it
least not
works.
in all cases, but in Kim Kardashian's case for sure, like, because unless she does something problematic to gain traction, like she's not really in the news anymore. So she needs to do that almost. So I think this is why they end up hating the people at the end, because they're like,
You're causing me to feel bad, and you're actually, my life sucks, and the only reason I'm able to do this is because people are like wanting this. So it's this
Yeah.
weird relationship of like, if people wanted me to be healthy, then I wouldn't have this lifestyle, but I would probably be healthier of a person. And so it's
Yeah.
like this never ending addiction. It's like, if drugs didn't exist, well, then I wouldn't be a drug addict, but they're there. So now I got to just do them, or like figure out a way to get out of it. I don't know. But that's not an option. But the reason that there's fans there for this type of content, it's always like, it's an addiction, I think, in a way too. It's like, you can't just cut it off. You have to have help to be able to stop needing that attention once you got it.
Yeah, and I think when you throw money into the mix, I wouldn't know because I never had made any substantial money from YouTube. But when you probably throw like a lot of money into the mix, like it's no longer just the attention. Now it's like, ooh, I can
My
get a bigger house. I
lifestyle,
can get a bigger, like, whatever. And
security.
that's, yeah. So I think they start chasing, lifestyle inflation and all that stuff. Like it's just never enough. And even as rich as Kim Kardashian is, there's always some guy with like more, or some girl with more, and
Sure.
they start to go into that. Um, I think, I believe that money probably has a lot of. It's almost like the root cause of all of that, because like with if it was just for the attention, then it would be only the narcissists that would actually get anywhere, because
Sure.
they just thrive off of the attention, and bad and negative and
Doesn't matter.
positive, and that, yeah, it's just the attention and they would love it. But like I don't think it's just a narcissist. I think it's also like regular people, but they just love the money, and like,
It's
you know
enticing. It's very
yeah,
enticing. It's something that,
probably.
yeah, it's like money is very important, unfortunately,
Yeah,
to all of this, because it's freedom. It's getting out of jail, literally. Like if you go to jail and you have your bail money, you are free. If you don't, you are sitting in behind a jail cell for, without being charged, or without, well, you'd be charged, but without being convicted for years. And that's crazy when you think about it. Like, just what's the difference between person A and person B? Money. That's it. So when there's
yeah,
a chance to make a bunch of it, it's hard as a human to turn it down, because it could be so meaningful for you and everyone you love and care about, because you could then help them potentially as well. So I think it gets sort of like overlooked as like, yeah, it's cause for addiction. It's cause of panic. It's cause of a lot of things, especially if you've lived a life where you don't have it and you feel how hard it is to make it from that bottom place. If you have a chance to make money, you are crazy not to try. But
yeah,
then it brings in all these emotions that are unhealthy.
yeah, like Andrew Tate.
Now, I think
Yeah.
he's full of shit. I don't think he believes a thing that he says, to be honest. I think he does it for the attention.
I
He
think
knows
he
that he's going to get that.
I think he says some things that he knows are going far. So he would know in a regular conversation to just shut up and like not. If he was in a conversation with someone who is like, okay, I'm going to be your sponsor or something, he would know not to say something to piss off that person. But I do think that he believes those things. But I think that just like this guy, he's also alone. Like he keeps like bragging about all the women that he can do or whatever. Like he's so misogynistic, but he doesn't actually have a girlfriend that he like, or if he does, like I don't know if it's anything substantial, because he's not quoted a relationship or anything.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like it's so like sad to see, like asking him, like asking other kids that are watching him, who are like looking up to him and stuff, to be like him, because it's like, are you sure? Because that,
It's
I don't know if
lonely and
this is,
sad. Yeah.
yeah, like if he didn't have his brother, like he would be kind of alone, you know?
Well, he spoke about his brother before too, in like a very like odd way. Like, oh, like me and my brother like shower together, basically. Like we do everything together. Like I hold his hand while we eat
Did he
dinner.
really say that?
No, but like that's what I was joking. But like he was saying like that they're so close. He rather have like a partner in his brother than a partner in a woman. I'm like, that's fine, but that's also unhealthy, and there's something going on up there that's like not quite right, or something that happened as a child that like you're not dealing with, and that's not something I want to look up to. Like that's okay, like I support that person going through that growth, but like you gotta like realize like, bro, like your brother's not a replacement for a wife if that's what you actually want, or like a woman in your life to be a life partner. You can't just force your brother to do it if he's unwilling, you know. I don't know.
I think it's a strange thing. I think with Andrew Tate, I think he's probably been very badly hurt, I would say, romantically. That's my guess, because like he's very guarded. Like he's very guarded with, I mean, he probably does see some women, but he's clearly not gonna let, like you can see it in the way that he talks about women, and I'm sure that some of the things are like exaggerated for like, you know,
Yeah.
effect or whatever, but you can see that he's not really allowing a woman to come in close.
Yeah, emotionally
Yeah,
invest, which yeah, that's a sign of a problem, not a sign of strength.
yeah, exactly. He's a pussy.
It's okay to cry.
Okay, Andrew.
Yes,
it's
Andrew.
okay. This is what he'll say to that. Like, okay, we'll say,
It's okay to cry.
and he'll say,
No.
Depression. Depression doesn't exist.
does depression exist? Does depression exist?
No.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Exactly. And now that we're on the topic of curing illnesses and illnesses that don't exist,
Yes. Great transition.
Michelle Phan, basically, Michelle Phan is an influencer, YouTuber. I think she was a makeup YouTuber originally, or for a while. And a few months ago, I would say, probably like round about April, May, there were some fans that were concerned with her because she essentially joined Joe Dispenza's cult. And I've talked about Joe Dispenza on my channel. We occasionally name drop him every once in a while on here too. Joe Dispenza is the one that keeps claiming that he cured himself after a fatal accident by meditating about his spine. So
It wasn't too fatal if he was able to be at the hospital to do that.
yeah, he apparently was never gonna walk again. Like his spine was all messed up, and he convinced the doctors to just allow him to meditate about his spine in order to cure himself, and he succeeded within like 10 weeks.
Yes, of course. And now he says that, well, from that, experience, he can heal your Parkinson's disease. He can heal cancer. People who have never it's basically, what do they call it? The tents. There's a thing. It's like a Pentecostal thing in Christianity where they did the revivals. It's like a revival. You go, and instead of now saying that Jesus is healing and the devils are coming out of you, Joe Dispenza says it's the universe and the vibrations are coming out of you. It's like the same stuff. It's the same type of in-person event where people who are in wheelchairs are now walking, and people who are blind are now seeing. It's nothing new. It's just rebranded with a new age twist. And that's Dispenza's.
Yeah. If you
Whole
guys have
thing.
seen like John of God, I think there was a documentary about him. He was doing that same exact thing. He would have these retreats, these spiritual, and even Gabby Bernstein, our fave, she went to John of God retreat, and she was blown away about all the healing, but her mother couldn't be healed. Like her mother's
She didn't try hard
illness
enough.
actually, no, her mother's illness got worse when she returned. So because I'm assuming with these people, I'm not even shocked when people get worse, because I'm assuming when you go to these things and you start to be like, oh, you can, you stop taking medication and stuff, so you obviously it will go worse. So that happened, and then John of God, turns out he was predator of sorts, and he has been sentenced to 64 years in prison. So this is exactly who Joe Dispenza is, like a John of God, but here, but in the well, not here, in the US. Um, so Michelle Phan went to a Joe Dispenza retreat, and then started posting, Instagram stories talking about how she saw this man leave the wheelchair. Which, by the way, when people say these things, I believe them. But I think that they don't realize these are actors. Like, these are people hired to do that. Like,
Yeah.
the John of God guy and Joe Dispenza would have people that have been brought there specifically in a wheelchair, and then they would pretend to heal them, and these people will be pretending that they're the first time walking right then and there. These are not like, I don't think that people who see these things are lying. I just don't think they know what they're seeing. They're seeing a performance. They're seeing a stage.
Yeah, it's like art. And there was a whole thing where this, it was like in the 90s, I think. I don't remember which, it was a guru, but it was like a religious, leader. And he had an earpiece and they found the people who would go and debunk these people who are like hated by the community because they think they're evil, but the people that would go to debunk it and prove that it was bullshit, they had a radio thing, they had like a radio frequency, and they were able to get the headset of the preacher, of the pastor person who was like going around and saying like, your mother has cancer. And people were like, oh my God, God must have told him that. But in reality, they had people in the audience that would ask questions and that would go around, that were hired by the church, and they would get all this information, and then they would deliver it to the pastor in his earpiece, and they'd say, okay, woman in the white shirt next to the guy in the blue, he's got a red baseball cap, her address is this, and then he would go and like tell people like, you live on Somerville Lane, and they're like, ah. So this is not a new thing again. Like this is a well-documented phenomenon, or a grift, at the worst, that people have done forever. Like snake oil is from way, way, way back when. All this shit is not new. It's just rebranded now, and they're making it seem like this is a new thing. It's not. They're scammers, scam artists at a higher level.
It's making me think also of these like so-called magicians or something who can talk to ghosts from, who can talk to your dead mother and whatever, and they would go. And I think I saw a documentary like a while ago, basically the guy, where like his assistant was talking about this, I can't remember, saying that he would notice like that a car was somewhere or whatever, like, or the person came home in a car, and then when they meet, they're like, oh, you have a red mini, and she'll be like, oh my God, like, but he literally had just seen her like 5 minutes before. Stuff like that. And they were talking about that, and it's exactly that same situation you're talking about, and it just made me think of, it's all
it's manufactured.
It's all made up. Yeah, it's all a stage. It's all a performance. It's none of it is real, and yet they sell these retreats that are super expensive. Well, not as expensive as Heidi and Dave Hollis is. Let's stay realistic. Dave, Joe Dispenza's retreat, when I checked it, was something like a week of meditation. It was like $1,800, but I don't remember if that was like including any sort of staying like hotels or whatever. Probably not.
For that
like,
price, no. Yeah. No way. Yeah, I mean, that's still pretty relatively cheap. Instead of $5,000, which is what Dave and Heidi's most recent mastermind just came out with, to be for one day in a home somewhere in Arizona, to be healed of your whatever issues. I'm like, I cannot believe it. I can believe it, but it's insanity. But okay, that's a separate.
They got like something like 40 people last time, didn't they? And that was 3,000.
It was like 30, yeah. But then some people were there because they didn't pay. They like won the opportunity. I have a feeling that they've been gifting a lot of these to get excitement about it. But I think now they're wanting some of that payback. But I don't know. I don't think that many people are going to go, personally.
Well,
that's
we definitely can't afford to go. So
yeah, $5,000 for one day. That like Rise didn't do that. Like that's ridiculous. Like no.
Yeah.
I've been to, these higher expensive masterminds as like a videographer, and that's about the price for 3 days in a hotel with people, speakers that are like semi well known. The fact that they're charging that for a house, like where it's going to be, well, Mel Robbins is going. So I guess that's like the big, you know, draw, I suppose. But like, count back from 5. Okay, you've just been delivered the message of Mel Robbins. Like, you know, I don't know.
High five yourself in the mirror. Okay, so
Anyways, okay.
with that is interesting because Mel Robbins, doesn't she say that she gets paid 100K for an hour or something?
Yes.
Bullshit. Because if she goes to that, there's no
But they're
way they have
friends.
100K. Yeah, exactly. And
Yeah.
she's going for free, most likely, or for like a very low fee. So the whole thing, and even Dean Graziosi in one of these webinars that he was doing recently that I attended, and I'm getting like perpetual spam, sorry, well, and scam, but
Both. Yeah.
he was saying that he gets paid 250K to speak.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
think they are absolutely bullshitting because there is
Totally.
no way that Dave and Heidi would have money to like pay Mel Robbins 100K for that night.
Well, I believe that their fee is that. And like if a company at large, like a Monate or something, wanted to bring them in, like I think they might be paid that. But yeah, I don't think every single time they speak on stage, you know, is the fee, because I think they do it for their benefit. You know, oh, this, I can sell my shit to an audience of 1,000 or 100,000. What does that mean? 100,000 people. Great, I'll do it for free, because there's an incentive to get your mastermind, your class out there to people. They don't need to sell. They don't need the fee as well to sell that.
I wonder if it's like that manifestation thing where they say it's happening so that it happens hopefully sometime.
Probably, yeah. That's what they say their followers should do. So they probably do it too.
Yeah, because I don't believe it. Like I just don't. Like this was a stretch with this guy telling me that his sponsorship was 150K. Like
Yeah.
and he's got more. Well, I don't know if more. How many followers would like Mel Robbins have? I don't remember.
She's got a lot. But then also you look at her Instagram, half the stuff she posts are like viral vines from like 10 years ago with her handle on it.
Oh, she's got 2.4 million. Okay, but maybe for a sponsorship. But then I feel like that actually has, like, I have heard influencers get paid for sponsorships kind of a lot of money. But I don't know if like doTERRA would pay that money. Do you think doTERRA would pay that money for an influencer
I think
to
they
speak?
will. Yeah, I think so, because they get paid by the sellers. They pay the $200 to go to those conferences. So the money is there to entice them, you know.
I would say
pay.
probably like 20K they would get. Do you think 100K? That's a lot.
That's what Rachel claimed to get. And I
Really?
trust Rachel with my life. She would never lie
Yeah.
to me, okay? I don't
That's
know.
true.
I mean, yeah, part of me does. I think not every time. I think if they can find a way to justify it, they'll take it for less. I don't think that they have that high of a standard, but I do think, yeah, a company like that would pay 100,000. I do. I don't know why.
Wow. I mean, it's pretty bad. Next time, or in the future, we'll talk about Melissa Ambrosini, who actually has been has shilled in the past doTERRA oils a lot. So
I just posted one on my Facebook. I don't use Facebook, Instagram, where it was like, this lady's like, oh, she's a teacher. She's like, one of my students died in my class, and I'm so sad about it. I have to tell the kids tomorrow. I'm so lucky that I can use my doTERRA courage flavored brand of oils and bravery tomorrow. She like tagged doTERRA. I'm like, time and place, lady. Come on.
what do you think doTERRA will repost?
Probably. I'm not gonna lie. I got suckered into a doTERRA 3-pack in a yoga class once before I was awake and aware of these things. She's like, oh, because she's like, I'm a yoga teacher, or whatever. And she came over and gave us all during the class like a little, like, you know, oil. And I'm like, oh, I love this smell. What is it? Like, where do you get it? And she's like, oh, I'm a distributor. I have a special because I have a yoga instructor license, whatever. I get a special discount. I can hook you up. I'm like, okay, great. And then I, you know, found out later, like, oh, yeah, the special discount comes from, she's an MLM distributor.
Before you know it, you're in a Ponzi scheme.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Lovely.
I did
Yeah,
own some
apparently-
at one point.
Sorry to interrupt, but you're apparently famous on TikTok.
I am. Wow. Okay, bye everybody. Fuck you guys. I hate you all. I've made it. Time to get off of here.
Okay, bye.
Bye. Okay. I never liked any of you. Delete.
Scruffy cons.
You guys are all scruffy cons.
No.
Okay.
Okay, so Michelle Phan, what do we know?
Nothing. Do you want to watch this video from her about it? It says Michelle Phan explains Bitcoin. I don't know
Okay.
if this is the video that you wanted. Is that the right one?
No idea.
It was in this article.
Oh yeah, okay. Let's watch.
Well, I
Yeah.
think here's the screenshots that I think you're. I'll just read it. Okay, here we go. I think this is just a video that they had that has nothing to do with it. Okay, Michelle Phan has claimed to her followers that she's healed a man in a wheelchair after taking part in a meditation retreat. Michelle Phan may be best known as an MUA popular YouTuber and EM Cosmetics founder. However, the 35-year-old star has recently begun using her platform to promote Bitcoin. Alongside her beauty vlogs, fans have noticed that Michelle has started making videos about cryptocurrency, and she's even begun doing Bitcoin-sponsored content for Cash App. Okay, I guess that's what the video was for. Now Michelle has posted a set of Instagram stories which have led fans to believe that she may have joined a cult. Okay. Last week, Michelle revealed on Instagram that she was at a meditation retreat, the Joe Dispenza one. Days later, she shared a series of stories in which she claimed, "I healed a man who was in a wheelchair for years. He's not only walking now, but dancing with joy." Michelle then added, "I saw angels. I experienced complete bliss and joy that I've never experienced in my life." In a separate story, Michelle said, "One more note. This meditation retreat is not one of those relaxing spa ones. I'm clocking in 4 hours of sleep every day, waking up at 3 a.m.
Okay.
Hold on.
Better than Rachel and Jay Shetty all together.
Most people won't get up at 4 a.m.
Yeah, well, Michelle gets up at 3 a.m., bitch. She's healing people in wheelchairs at 2:30. What are you
Yeah.
doing, Rachel? Okay.
Rachel is just wasting her life.
Ugh,
Look
she's
at
just
what she could be
sleeping for
doing.
5 hours. What a loser.
You loser.
Okay. And this is also another thing that I've heard about in these retreats and these conferences. And like, I think we talked about it before, where like the Dean thing is like, the Dean Graziosi, Tony Robbins conference is like 20 hours a day. So they do that for, number one, to feel like you're getting amazing value. Like, wow, they didn't just do a 5-hour seminar. They really like went all out and did all this stuff. Okay, wonderful. That's like a feeling, even though it's all fluff and meaningless, it's like, oh, it felt really long. So, okay, I felt like I got my money's worth. That's one. And then two, they literally exhaust you to the point where you're so exhausted and tired. You've been on your feet all day. You've been communicating. You've been socializing all day, listening to people, dancing, whatever. Then they hard sell you on the next level of like one-on-one coaching, the next mastermind, the next event, the book thing, the web course, whatever, at your lowest point, so that you're tired and you're like, yeah, like I want to like motivate myself. I'll buy it. But when you are more probably relaxed and actually thinking clearly, you probably wouldn't buy that $25,000 fucking online website course thing or whatever. So it's all,
Not to
again,
mention
part of it.
when you're tired and you've been not just that you're tired, but when you're like in that emotional experience and you're dancing and you're like around people and you're having a good time and whatever, you're less likely to look at like all of the asterisks. You're less likely to think, wait a minute, are they actually like giving me anything? Because like, yeah, I'm having fun with these people and yeah, I'm like whatever, but is this really worth 10K? Is this
Yeah.
really worth like, what are they really get? Because they keep on like creating these packages, and I saw it in the webinar with Dean Graziosi. They create these packages and they're like, you're getting this and you're getting this and you're getting, and they're throwing so many things that you can't keep track of that.
Whoa.
Your mind is like, after about 3 of them you're done, but they're like, well, and this and the CD and the and they're creating this gigantic package. And they're being like, this is worth this, and they're like, it's worth like $9,000 or something, or $11,000, but we're only gonna give it to you for $997.
What a
And then
steal.
you're like, oh my god, oh my god. And then guess what, you guys, because I keep getting the emails because I didn't take the deal, and they're like, fine, Camelia, fine, you tricked us, you have it for 200, fine, just
tricked
get
us.
it, get it away from here, just take it.
Oh my God.
And I've not taken it, and now they've sent me another 5 spam emails, be like, just an insight, a letter for you, and the whatever, and a new video for you. It's like, can you
I did it
just
for you.
stop?
I'm writing you this
Just-
this letter, this post. I'm about to put it in the mailbox just for you, Camelia.
Yeah, except they don't know any of the people in the audience. They don't have any of the addresses, and they definitely don't have mine. But then there's more after that. They have more like value for you, more videos in which they're hard selling you. And at this point, I'm willing to just pay them to stop emailing me because I'm so sick of their spam. It's so annoying.
Don't do it.
No, I'm not. No, I'm just kidding. I would never.
But
pay
yeah,
these.
I think there's a sense of what you're saying, like exhaustion over the top, where you feel like I'm overwhelmed. So like there's 50% of people will go, I'm overwhelmed, I'm out of here. And 50% of people like, I'm overwhelmed, I guess I'll just go all in. And that's like the worst idea.
And they emails like are insane with manipulation. They're like, I know you don't want to build on this momentum. I know it's hard, but we're not gonna let you. We're gonna help you. It's like, really, you're helping people? You're now helping people buy your thing for $997. Sure, okay. Because and they're like, you're not one of those lazy people, are you? Like, literally, it says that in the emails. Like, they're so manipulative. Like,
You're not one of those losers that I had to
I'm
deal
gonna
with
be like,
before.
yeah.
Yeah.
Imagine us being like this to people. Like, you like, are you really that lazy that you're not gonna join our memberships? Are you really that lazy? Oh, we're gonna help you. We're gonna help
We're
you.
gonna help you join by sending you 1,000 emails to tell you you're a piece of shit if you don't join.
You're not a piece of shit, are you? Join here.
We know you're
you
not
can
one of
pay by
those.
any means possible.
Yeah. We know you're not one of those pieces of shit, but if you were, you wouldn't buy this course.
No, and we'll help you if you were. We'll change you.
We'll change you for the better.
Sorry
Emily
for the
says-
rant, but I got so mad with all the manipulation in emails and stuff. It's just mental.
Yeah, I signed up for Jeff Lerner's, the guy who was like, I'm so amazing, while he was driving in his car and screaming. And same thing, he's like, come meet, I want to meet you. I saw that in my subject. I was like, what the fuck? And it's like, I want to meet you tonight or something. It was like weird. And then I read it and it was like, here's my 3 masterminds. Same thing. Like, come in person and meet up. I really care about you. I'm like, I signed up for your thing as I was like snarking on you. I care about you so much. Like, but it's written as if like, it's like in a text, like almost like a self email, And so someone who's very sensitive is going to be like, oh, this person's like wanting to see me. Like, they could be perceived like that.
Yeah.
And they know that. That's why they're doing it.
Yeah. And they teach that too, because I remember Marie Forleo talking about that. Like in one of the videos, be like, don't be afraid to sell. And like, she wasn't quite teaching that, but this is reminiscent of it, like in that same style of like, you're just helping people, you're just pushing people to help themselves, blah, blah, like stuff like that. And it's always like, don't be afraid to make money. It's like, okay, which is exactly the opposite of what you were saying earlier, where like, because you as a normal person with normal feelings, you're like, no, I don't like to scam these people and make them pay
it's
so
like,
much. So
money's hard to make. It's like, I don't want to manipulate someone who doesn't need what I'm selling, to buy
but
it, to trick them into
Marie
it.
Forleo,
That's
Marie
fine.
Forleo would tell you that you can both be grateful for what you have and also want to be a mogul, like Rachel Hollis. So
It's worked out so great for all of them. So thus far.
yeah.
Yikes. Okay. Anyways. Okay. Can I click on this? I guess I can zoom it in, but basically it says, in a separate story, Michelle said, one more no. Okay. She's clocking in at 3 a.m. They meditate for 5 hours, no breaks, not even for the bathroom. Then we eat, then learn science for 2 hours. Girl, you ain't learning science. I can guarantee you ain't learning science.
is the quantum physics dude. He
They all
heals you
are.
with quantum physics. Yeah.
When I had my life coach, she fucking talked about quantum physics once, and I was like, "When did you learn quantum physics?" And she's like, "Oh, just like from my coach." I'm like, "Oh, the coach that did not finish high school, like she's teaching you quantum physics? All right, okay." And I was like, "Well, maybe I just don't understand it." It's like, no one understands it. That's why they use it.
That's what it means.
Yes. God, science.
Yeah.
We learn science. That's like all of them. I'm such a neuroscience nerd. And then their advice is like, if you believe something will happen, it'll manifest for you. It's like, that's not science, baby doll. Come on.
Yeah. That's being brainwashed.
I learned science.
So Michelle Phan also learned science.
Oh,
Okay,
God,
great.
for 2 hours. Then meditate again, then break, and then meditate again. It's work. Girl, and you paid for this. Ugh. God. Okay. When the retreat ended, I shouldn't say girl and all that, but like, that's why I get in my boss babe mode, and it's just like, girl, like if you're a woman, like you're now a girl in the, self-help
Bitch.
world.
You can say bitch.
Bitch, yeah. The subtle art of being a bitch. My girlie's guide to getting unstuck from self-help. All right. And healing your trauma and your physical disabilities.
Yay.
Love you.
That will be $5,000.
Don't be afraid to sell this.
Don't be afraid to go into debt by paying me for this.
Yeah. You're not one of those loser scruffs, are you? Scruff cons. Right?
You're not one of those tramps.
You're ready to learn science, right? You fucking idiots. Here's what Rachel would say.
Douche lord.
She would call you a douche lord. But still buy my class.
Oh.
Okay, so then when the retreat ended, Michelle shared even more Instagram stories saying, quote, "Wow, taking time, absorbing everything I experienced in the past 7 days. I've never been around so much loving energy. It was incredibly healing. I've always resonated with Dr. Joe Dispenza's story on how he transformed himself using brain and heart coherence." Don't know what that is. Michelle continued to say he was in an accident that broke his spine, was told he'd never walk again, but he did not accept that as his truth. He reprogrammed his mind and now walks and shares his experience on how he did it. Michelle's stories have since gone viral on Twitter, with many doubting her claims that she has healed someone who was in a wheelchair and other people worrying that the meditation retreat she went on was part of a cult. One person tweeted, "I really watched Michelle Phan go from being an OG beauty guru and icon to a Bitcoin crypto shark cult member. See, she got that level of success and then crashed and burned."
Yeah.
The moral of the story, do not succeed that much.
Hey. I want to succeed a tiny bit.
Find the minimal success and fucking stay there. Sorry.
Can I please make minimum wage on YouTube? Can I do that? Is that considered too much success?
No, you're good. You need the minimum requirements for living, no more.
Okay.
That's
I will
it.
stop there.
Yeah, stop
if
immediately.
I ever get there. No. I'm not.
It rots your brain.
Don't worry.
This is what we've learned today.
Don't worry. It's about the brain-heart coherence. I will get on that.
Yes. And I'm in a meal prep vortex. This is from our previous story about the meal prep king. But now we're on Michelle Phan, so I should probably have like a guy standing up from a wheelchair behind me instead, but didn't have time to switch that over. But anyways, okay. Some tweets.
The one thing I don't understand from this, but the one thing I don't understand from this is the Bitcoin part.
Yeah, I don't really understand that either. I guess that's just like you become like a kind of like a fringe influencer. You start to, push cryptocurrency.
I mean, that's about as scammy as Joe Dispenza. So
yeah, I wonder if she's been told like this is the future. I think the deregulation part really attracts wellness people because it's almost like the anti-vax movement and cryptocurrency sort of go hand in hand in a weird way if you're in wellness, because the big bad banks are controlling everything. That's a narrative, and if you even go deeper into it, it's like Jewish bankers are controlling the world and their banks. Like, it goes very deep depending on how mentally ill you are, to be honest. But there's also the thing about wellness, like, oh, big pharma controls everything. They just want to make us sick. They want to put poison in the water. They want to vaccinate us and poison us. That also is like, so deregulation, getting rid of anything that's big, anything, big pharma, big bank, big anything. So it sort of kind of makes sense to me in that way.
And when you throw in like people like Gary V who are doing both, then it blurs the lines even more.
Gary V is indoctrinating children as we speak, which is shocking, and we need to like dive into it deeper. I was watching another thing. It was like a literal child, and I was like, I can't. I can't. You're selling cryptocurrency to children now, like openly? Not okay. But here we are, 2022, baby.
Oh, Gary.
Do you want to watch this one just to see what she has to say about Bitcoin? Okay. I haven't heard her.
Around Bitcoin. So when I'm asked about it, I try my best to explain it simply. When I was growing up, I was always taught by my parents to save money, and whatever pocket change I had, I would add it in the piggy bank. Later when I grew up, I learned how there's different ways to save and grow your money, like stocks, buying a house, investing in a business. And during my research, that's when I came across Bitcoin. For me, it was the most unique asset I came across. It's similar to property when it comes to scarcity, but it's digital. And unlike a home where it requires a lot of upfront cash, with Bitcoin, I can buy smaller units of it. Those units are called Satoshi.
Okay.
And 100 million Satoshis makes up...
What a great voice.
You can live in a house. Can you live in your Bitcoin?
Worst case scenario, I'll just take a little nap in my
Unlike houses, I can buy a little bit of Bitcoin. It's like, yeah, but can you fucking live in it? Like, how is this the same thing?
It's like it's like investing. The better comparison is like a stock. Like, okay, you could buy stocks, but then you have to depend on, the business of that doing well, and that's risky. So Bitcoin is also riskier, but it's different and it's new. That's a better comparison than like, oh, a house.
Yeah,
I can live in.
I don't see the,
No.
the similarity with houses at all.
They call it, there's a whole other thing online about it, like digital real estate, which is like getting a website. They're like, it's digital real estate. It's like, yeah, but I could just make a zillion trillion new websites and it's fine. You can't just build a zillion trillion new homes for free, essentially. It doesn't work like that. That's the scarcity.
If you're homeless, if you're homeless, you can't sleep on your website. So.
Oh my God, just a webcam of you sleeping on the street.
Yeah.
I'm sleeping on my website. It's amazing. Digital real estate. I mean, she explains it nicely. It's very pretty. It's very, voice sounds good. She looks, put together, but
yeah,
it's very weird. And she, like I said, she was an OG. Like, she really was an OG. She was back in like the beginning of YouTube, apparently. So she's been around the block in the sense of social media and seeing people get canceled and seeing the ups and downs of other creators. So
yeah,
she's kind of jumped off the deep end.
It's her turn.
Okay, Michelle. Well, that sucks for you. That you've gone this route. I'm sorry.
It sucks for them now.
Yeah.
Because with the market crash and like a potential recession, it's not going to be pretty.
No. Yeah, people who I don't know. Gary V I think is like internally panicking completely because.
And Tom Bilyeu.
Oh yeah, he's also like fuck.
Like, I put all my money in this shit.
It's like, oh my God, I didn't think it would ever crash. Like, okay, well, you're dumb. So yeah, I don't know. I think all the potential in NFTs are sort of being shown, and I think people thought like if they got in early, they would be the new, like, oh, if I just invested in Amazon, early, I could be a bigger investor. And these people jumped on this trend, and it really doesn't have legs yet. And maybe there's a way to work it out, but like the first round is going to lose all their money first. I don't know. It was not a good move.
I don't know. I just think at this point there's too many NFTs and too many opportunities. Like,
well, you got to think about even like Gary V. Like, okay, Gary V's got all the resources in the world. He's got attention. He's got a following. He's got devoted followers. He has the money to play with it. He's got the staff to make, choices and stuff. And yet he gets 200 likes on an Instagram post on his NFT project on the regular. That's a concern. And he's making and creating full ass animated shorts and animated shows about each NFT, and it's still not doing good.
Yeah.
What does like a normal person have any like hope?
Yeah, no. Plus, we can see it for free. So.
Yeah, I'm watching it. Okay, this is so bad.
It's just
Don't be
like
mad.
art.
It's just
Except,
Except
you have to pay for it.
it's like art, but
It's like
better.
art, but you just get an invoice at the end. It's like art, but all you get for that art, you don't get the art.
You don't get anything actually.
It's like art, but you don't get the art. You just get an invoice.
You get a dream that dies on impact.
It's like art that you cannot put on your walls, that you cannot see in an exhibition, but you can see it for free on the internet.
You can see it for free. I changed my photo. This is what Michelle Pham's weekend was like.
Yeah. Oh, it's very, very, very true. Very accurate. I cannot wait for Joe Dispenza to make it to prison. Like when it's like, what those guys that were on to John of God. What are you guys doing? If anyone is watching, please, Joe Dispenza is there doing it.
He's getting more and more bold too. But you know what? You know what pisses me off more than Joe Dispenza? Because he's got his grift and he's sticking to it. But you know what pisses me off is these pseudo celebrities who have followings that are not involved in the wellness space, but are platforming him on their podcasts, on their Instagrams, and acting like this is a totally normal thing that we should be promoting. And it's like, yeah, you have freedom to do whatever you want, and I'm going to support that freedom always. However, I think it's disgusting that you're not like thinking twice about this, like how important these platforms can be to indoctrinating people into cults. Like think twice, Danica Patrick. Think twice, Maria Menounos. Like these are people who I don't consider like dangerous in their own right, but their platforms are continually pushing people like Joe Dispenza, like Medical Medium, and they're acting innocent about it, and it bothers me to no end. Sorry, I'm done.
I wonder if they're sponsored or something. They're like,
I think they have income, they have wealth. They probably feel some sort of like thing inside that's a little bit like, oh, I'm not fulfilled. Like we've been talking about this whole show. Like I'm not fulfilled. I'm like, I have everything I want. I don't feel good. And they go down this wellness path, but they're doing it alongside like a million people watching them. And it's like, I don't know. It's dangerous. It's completely dangerous. And I hate it. It's a bigger problem than I think even their own platforms are, because there's certain people who are going to be attracted to those people no matter what, and you can't really help them. But there's certain people that are like, oh, if Maria Menounos likes her, I guess this person is a good person, and then should give them a chance, and then they get, sucked in that way. And it's like, you don't have to contribute to this. Do it privately, if you want to like explore that. That's my 2 cents, but...
I wonder if there has to be some sort of financial element to it, I think.
You think so?
Either it's through affiliate programs, and I know that Jenna Kutcher does a lot of affiliates and stuff, or they think this will blow over or blow up and be viral or something. Or
maybe. I think part of me thinks they genuinely think they're helping people. They just don't realize that it's ridiculous and stupid, and they're insulated in their bubble of like positivity only, baby. Like that's what I think, but maybe who knows.
I don't know if I give them benefit of the doubt. But yeah,
I know.
maybe they are brainwashed. Maybe they are brainwashed. So sometimes, like at least with Rachel Hollis, they've come to believe that she was brainwashed.
I think a lot of them are. I think a lot of them have good intentions, but good intentions do not mean that you're off the hook for doing bad things or doing things that hurt people, in my opinion.
Yeah, exactly. Well,
it's been real. We did a lot of introspection today.
I know. I loved it.
Unplanned introspection.
And I tried my best not to interrupt. Like,
Oh, sorry.
no, I tried. Like, I tried not to interrupt you all
I feel
over.
like I talk too much. You should talk
No.
less.
I mean, I interrupt too much. That's what.
No, I interrupt too much. We interrupt each other, tell each other, no, I interrupt more.
No, I have. I think because I've done the highlights like last time, I was like, Cam, just stop.
That's so funny that you think that, because I think that about me, and I'm like, shut up, me.
No, I was overdoing it at least last time. Maybe I was chatty or something. I don't know.
Okay, well, I'm sorry. I don't notice it. I always think it's me, so we're like both self-absorbed.
That's good because
both
then
think
you
we're
don't
bad.
notice.
Yeah. Let us know. We'll put a poll on the community. Who
Let us know
interrupts more?
which one is worse.
Watch it be like 50-50. Like, oh, wow. We're just interrupting
be
each other constantly.
Yeah.
Well, this is good. Okay, so next week, then I will pick the topics. So if you have any ideas, let us know either on Instagram or I'll bring up our Instagram so people can follow us separately or together or whatever you guys want to do.
But unfollow us afterwards.
Yeah, unfollow us, and you're all scruff cons.
Unfollow me.
Hold on. Here's Camelia's. Hold on. There it is. There's
That's
our
me.
boy, Andrew Tate. Andrew Tate.
Yep. Taint. Yeah, they went with taint.
Andrew
I'm not
Tate.
sure why they went with taint.
Okay, and then that's hers. And then here's mine. There's my boy, Gary V.
Gary. Oh.
Gary. Do you know?
Yeah.
Do you guys know what's really bad in this world? It's rich people. They're so sad. Oh,
poor
I worked at a
rich
liquor
people.
store. My dad owned a liquor store, and I used to work there. Gratitude. I have so much gratitude and patience. That's great.
I get so many people on the video. I made a video about Gary V, in which I was talking when I found out he was divorced. And I made a video about that, and I still get comments being like, "Oh my God, you're so..." And like all I said in that video was like, "I'm shocked. Like I did not see this coming." All I was saying was like, "What do you think? I'm so shocked. I'm so shocked." And basically, people were like, "Oh my God, your opinions on relationships." I'm like, I don't know.
But don't trust
Probably.
Gary's opinions on relationships, who's literally gotten divorced like secretly in the dark of night and never brings it up again. It's like, oh, trust him about who to be in a relationship with? Okay.
Or they will trust Andrew Tate, who actually literally assaulted women and
Yeah.
trafficked women and stuff.
So they're like, well, I want to assault women, so I'm going to listen to that guy because I want that privilege.
But my views on
Yeah.
relationships are so bad. Okay.
It's Camellia is the ones that's got the concern.
Yeah. Stay away from me, everyone.
5 feet. 6
Yeah.
feet of distance, please.
Yeah, if
Unfollow
you-
me.
I'm like a vampire. If you eat like garlic, I will not come any close.
I love garlic so much.
Well, then you're safe.
No one go near Camellia.
I don't regret anything.
She doesn't regret it.
Was she eating something when she said that? Because she sounds like she was eating something.
She was like, I forget what she.
I don't regret anything.
It was like she was like saying something, and then she was like, I regret. And she's like, I don't regret anything. And then she like continued with her thought. It was like a half thought.
Yeah.
I am not problematic.
Oh, I almost forgot. Like, thank God you put that on because for a second there, I was like, shit, is she problematic?
Is she?
I am not problematic.
Oh, okay, good, confirmed.
Yeah.
But you know what you are, Cam?
Tell me.
You are privileged AF.
I so wish I was privileged.
You know they say. You know they say about
This
me.
is why I don't understand. this is why I don't understand why they are so upset with the word privilege. Because like, don't you wish you were privileged? Like, why is that? Why is
Yeah.
that such
I'm
an
not
insult?
privileged. It's like, yeah, you are. It's a good thing. Really? For you. Just don't talk about, general societal issues from that point of view all the time. That's all we're saying.
Yeah, to just be self-aware.
Just be self-aware. That's all we want.
All right, play the thing that you were gonna play. Sorry.
Hold on, I'm trying to set it up. Okay. You know what I think of you when I'm like, you know what Camellia does all the time? You know what I think when I think that?
Oh no.
She cleans the toilets.
Sis, no sis.
You know when it's like you're on your period and you're like, oh, I got so much pain, but you like don't know exactly like where to like. I got pain in like this area, and you're like, what area is it? You're like, what area do you have pain? And you're like, I think it's called
My uterus.
Okay, I'm done. They're getting more and more desperate to come up with like a scenario.
Yeah. If you guys made it to this point, you got a treat.
Do you like water, by the way? Are you a water drinker?
Not too much. Like I'm okay with a little bit.
This is Cam.
I hate cold water.
No, it needs to be frozen. No, come on. I'm gonna drink one drop, but it will be a frozen drop.
A frozen drop. Okay. How about
No.
Yeah. Yeah.
tell me something that you like about me before we go.
You're not problematic.
Bold-faced lie.
Oh my god. Things are gonna start to come out, you guys. Okay. I'll pull a meal prep king and just say, start recording now.
Start recording right now. Camellia is so nice to me.
Bold-faced lie.
Oh,
But don't
man.
cry about it, you scruff con.
I am not emotionally stable.
I'm definitely not. Like that's the one thing that I would always agree with Heidi on.
You're not emotionally stable?
Yeah,
Well, it's important to know.
It's okay to cry.
I know. I'm
And I
gonna
do.
Thanks,
Daily.
thanks, Heidi. That was nice.
Okay.
All right, scruffy cons. We're done.
Hey, Scruffy Con community. Our Scruffy community.
Our scruffy con.
I like it.
Thank you so much for being here, everyone.
Yes, thank you. We've enjoyed this immensely.
Yes, we have. I have.
Will you guys not be back next week?
No.
That's right. See you next Thursday.
See you next Thursday at 12 p.m. EST.
Bye.
Bye. Peace and love.